now listening to the Lineman Lounge.
Where sleeves are optional.
Aren't you tired of the same old podcast? Aren't you tired of the same old things? Don't you want to switch it up a little bit? Listen up, cause I'm about to blow your brain. Let your seat kick back, let your feet relax. Come on over, take a listen to the Lineman Lounge. In the car, at your crib, anywhere that you want. Come on over, take a listen to the Lineman Lounge. Got the NFL, got MLB, got NBA, and some UFC. Got college sports, we talking fantasy. Come on over, take a listen to the boy Mike C. Only on
The Lineman Lounge.
Como están, bitches? This is the Lyman Lounge, where sleeves are optional, coming to you from Hangar 6. I am Mike. This is Evo, and we have got a very busy day. I'm super excited for the show. We got tons of NFL. We got tons of college football. We had our own games today, and I've been drinking a little bit, so I'm going to get a little loosey-goosey on this show.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm gonna
the
let it
plan.
rip.
Get a little bit of slutty slosh Saturday on the pod.
Fucking A.
Yeah, we got college football going on, wild stuff happening, some close games, some interesting games, some
Very interesting games
disappointment,
going on.
I'm sure, out there for some people, and
If you're an Ohio State fan, that's absolutely true.
some disappointment for betting, some positives for betting.
I've had a pretty good week in the betting department. Now, tomorrow's going to play a huge factor in how my week of betting goes. I got a lot of money out there with a massive return potential. So we'll see how that goes. How was your week of betting?
It could have been better.
Could have been better.
First week of betting could have been better. I took that Caesars bet, $50 won because Tampa Bay scored a point. That was a gimme. And then put $150 in after that, put all that out on different bets. And I ended the week with like $165 total. So
net gain, baby. Net
is
gain.
a net gain, but obviously I didn't pick too well on several of my choices. But that is basically because I, picked almost entirely NFL football, and it was a very weird week of week one NFL
It was an
football.
incredibly weird week.
A lot of picks that we had previously said were gonna be winners didn't turn out that way.
No.
It was surprising. And I don't know who these teams are yet. And after week two, I feel like I'll start to get a really good grasp of who these teams actually are, compared to last year and what we've seen through camp. I'm starting to see that now for our Thursday night teams for sure.
Yep.
But that's something that we'll get to when we start talking about football, NFL football. That is. Let's just get cranked into some college football. How about that?
Well, yeah, so I do want to start with college football, but I do want to talk about our football.
Oh, fuck.
It's
yeah.
very important to me. I really like being able to, share our experiences in the world of football.
True.
Our coaching experiences. I know we got people here in Arizona, close friends. We got some family that watch the show, and they are invested in kind of how our football goes. So I'm going to start. We had a really good day. The 9U Gray Colts had a very, very good day. We go out, we beat Benson 18-0. That is another great defensive performance. We shut out the last team we played through 4 quarters and an overtime until we finally lit one up. Come out again, have another shutout. It's great. Offensive line, we reworked it. We worked in some different things. We're looking at a double tight end set now. It worked very well. That double tight end set was very nice to have. And then our trip sets, they could not stop. We played really good. My offensive line drastically improved, moving some kids into different spots. Maybe some of them are a little more slender than your typical offensive line that you think that should be in that spot. But they go out there, hard-nosed, put their face in there, block. It was a really good day, 18-0 for my Colts, and it probably could have been a lot more. We just have a problem, and I don't want to say it's a problem, because we have a stud at running back. However, I feel like he purposely seeks people out to run his fucking face right into them when we could have a touchdown if we just keep it wide down the sidelines. We're doing a lot of cutbacks when we don't need to, almost like he's looking for contact because he will absolutely run somebody over. He Derrick Henry'd a kid today, kid half his size. But
Look, that sort of stuff is fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Having a solid runner all the way through high school is really what makes a team. Passing, sometimes in high school, passing can be a legit threat, but not always. No. And if you have a solid running back, you can pretty much control the game. Usually.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things.
And then watching a running back that has that aggression, I love watching.
I like it too. However, when all you have to do is keep it towards the sideline and run towards space, scores you a because we could have probably won. Oh, good. 30-0 because we didn't get any of our fucking our extra points.
You're kicking extra points?
No, we're not. At this point, kicking an extra point is 2 points.
Okay.
Whereas I think going for it is 1 point.
Huh.
Because kicking at this level is still harder than just going for it from the 2.5 yard line.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. At least that's the way it was up at our tournament last year up in Phoenix. I don't know if we're doing that same tournament. I think we're actually going to the tournament in Vegas this year. Very excited about that. We'll get into some bets later on that kind of will make me very happy while we're there. But, yeah, 18-0. Very good game. I want to see my running back run the space. However, I don't mind him putting his face right through another motherfucker's face or yeeting a kid 4 or 5 yards away from him with a stiff arm.
I like when you talk about your running back going through another motherfucker's face because that's a child.
It is a child.
It's a child.
It is a child.
You're calling a child a motherfucker. Going through that.
I was just trying
face.
to quote my guy Marshawn Lynch.
Okay.
All right, I'm trying to quote Marshawn Lynch. I'm sure that.
Hey, I'm not saying it's a negative thing. I just enjoy it.
I'm sure that young man is a very nice young man, 9-year-old. So he's probably not. But I mean, I'm gonna play it up. We had a great day. I love when we play up to our potential. Last game we played really well. We just got tired at the end. This game, we were able to dominate from beginning to end. It makes you feel really good as a coach.
Yep.
I know you guys did not have that same success, but you guys did play well, from my understanding.
Yeah, so we did have our second loss today, so we're 2-2. Kids played a lot better. After last game, we had 9 players there, 8 players on the field, so they were just bushed. Bushed. And then on top of that, they had refs making bad calls, which weren't going, their way. And it was just that took points off the board for us and stuff. They were just, very mentally out of it. Whereas this game, they played better. They seemed to be having a fun time, a good time. We fought through some adversity with some injury stuff, kids, banging up their knee and things like that. Right. And then being like, no, I want to go back out there, which was always good to see.
That's good. That's important. That kind of shows the building of a good culture is like, no, I'm okay. I want to get back out there.
Yeah. So while it was a loss, it was kind of funny because at the end of the game, the kids were asking, did we win or lose? So if they're not aware if they're winning or losing because they're having a good time, then that's kind of what this portion of football is in their, growth. They're 5 to 7 years old. If they're having a good time, they're enjoying football, and they're into it, that's going to feed them for years. And not knowing the score, not having to worry about it, that's a good thing. Even though, of course, yeah, we would like to win. But, I'm happy for the boys that they did good. We saw progress. There's still things that we need to improve. Unfortunately, I'm still not able to be going to practices because of work schedule. Right. So that's, I'm sure that's why we haven't won our past 2 games because I've not been there at practice and I make the team. How's
Bishop Sycamore doing?
Bishop Sycamore. So also because of that work schedule, it's been lacking for me to be there.
Tough.
They've already told me I've got the starting gig. So I'll be starting at right defensive end, but it's a little bit back and forth. It's tough to keep track of what's going on at Bishop Sycamore because you just don't know if what you're hearing is true all the time. So
understandable, and if we don't keep this gag going for forever, I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah,
but
because I'm all about it.
The Bishop Sycamore story continues to change, develop, and it's asinine. There are times where there's a massive problem with youth sports. Bishop Sycamore is like literally the definition of how bad youth sports can go. Other than, seeing parents in fistfights on fields. But, being able to talk about youth sports, being involved in youth sports, having good days like today, even if you don't get a win, like my last week, we did not get a win, but we played well. Those are important days. And I really enjoy, being able to bring that aspect of our show to maybe people who are new to being parents, new to, kind of getting their kids in sports. Because, listen, some coaches are going to be your very vanilla, standard coach. Everybody's a winner. And some coaches are not going to be that way. Like, I'm a very hard coach to play for. I could bring my son in here right now and he'd be like, "No, sometimes you're fucking kind of a prick."
Mm-hmm.
And
in that exact language.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering the way I talk, it might come out exactly that way. But, we love these kids. We want them to succeed. And for these, for the people who listen to the show who are, they have young kids, they're like, okay, listen, like, these guys, they're involved with sports. They know sports. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, kind of you're going to be a prick. Your coach is going to be a prick. I mean, I'm sure you had coaches growing up that were assholes.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing is that it was one of the most valuable lessons that I was taught when I was younger. And I don't even remember who said it. It might have been a coach, but they said that kind of old adage. If I'm yelling at you, it's because you have potential. I know that there's more in you and I want to get that out of you. If I'm not yelling at you, you're a lost cause to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not invested in you anymore.
Like, I'm literally yelling. I'm trying to pull every ounce of talent you have out of you right now.
Yeah. And so that's why when I was getting criticism and stuff like that during those sports, it was never like really bringing me down. It was always like, okay, yeah, I need to do better because they know I can do better. Like, they have my back in this type thing.
Right.
And then, taking that on into adult life. Like, I don't take criticisms in a negative way. I mean, I'm sure it's
there are
human.
ways.
There's sometimes that I'll take criticisms negatively.
Yeah.
But in general, if I trust the person, believe in the person, and they're being critical of me, then I'm going to accept that criticism because that means it's an opportunity for growth. And for children and young adults to be learning that and taking that hopefully on into their adult lives in a society that does not accept criticism very well
at all
is an extremely valuable thing.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get into today, talk about that. I mean, because I love youth sports. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't love it quite as much as I love college football or I love NFL football because my feet hurt like a motherfucker right now, and I'm about to pour myself another drink so I can not worry about that. It looks like that was a little rough.
It's terrible.
What the fuck is that?
Yukon Jack Apple.
Oh, why would you drink that?
Because I'm a fucking idiot.
Okay, there you go.
Sloppy Saturday. God.
Sloppy Saturday, baby. All right, so are we actually ready to get in?
I mean, I was fucking half hard, ready to go, and then
I know. I had to bring up the kids and bring it back. But hey, let's run through a motherfucker's face.
That shit was awful.
And let's get ready to go.
Yeah.
So let's start with college football. Get us primed, and I'm gonna pour another drink.
Yeah. So college football. For me today, I was, of course, watching the guy that I've been following, Desmond Ridder, a little bit. Had a bet on the Alabama game, Alabama and Florida. So for me, real quick on Ridder, Cincinnati barely beat Indiana. Indiana had them, especially in the first half. It was kind of like last week. And then a really ticky-tacky penalty happened against Indiana. One of their, and I don't know the name off the top of my head. I'm sure you can pull this information off of ESPN or some other sports provider's website. But basically, like, the lifeblood defensive player for them ended up getting ejected for a targeting call. It was very ticky-tacky. There was no malintent. It was like he was going to sack the quarterback, and then their helmets touched, and they ejected him. And at that point, the momentum absolutely switched. And Cincinnati ended up going through, winning that game. Way closer than it should have been for Cincinnati being number 8 going against an unranked team with Indiana. Ritter,
Now,
again, the same
When
criticism.
you say an unranked Indiana team, Indiana was very good last year. They beat Nebraska,
Yeah.
who played well today. So I
true.
don't know that Indiana was a pushover.
No, I
But-
wouldn't say that by any means, not a pushover, but I expected them to still perform better. And in the first half, Indiana had their number.
Yeah.
They had their number
They started out,
completely.
what, 14-0?
Yeah, I believe so. Either way, Ritter, so the same criticisms that I've had of him since starting to talk about him is his accuracy. Sometimes he's very spot on, but I'd say close to 50% of the time, he's not. And it's become even more worrisome to me now that I'm really paying attention. Again, I like his footwork. I like his presence in the pocket. I like his velocity. I like when he runs the ball, but his accuracy just is so hit or miss that it's not going to translate unless he can somehow get that under wraps or figured out. Because they left, first downs on the field today because of poor placed passes that weren't able to be caught by the receivers. The receivers aren't bailing him out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if Cincinnati's going to have a lot of guys that are going to have the kind of talent that can bail him out. Now, granted, they are number 8 in the country. Have you heard of one of these Cincinnati receivers?
Receivers, no. I know the running back, Jerome Ford, but
Yep. Who's a
receivers,
potential?
no.
He's probably going to get drafted.
Yeah. No, I would say he's definitely going to get drafted. I would
He's going to
say
be a third,
first round
fourth
or something like that.
I thought he was going to be like a third, fourth,
Yeah.
but I've not heard of one of these Cincinnati receivers.
Yeah.
So-
Alec Pierce, Michael Young Jr., Leonard Taylor, Jaden Thompson.
Nope,
I'm
not
not any of these leading receivers, not really hearing their names. That doesn't mean that people could be sleeping on them. They could just be buried on depth or something like that. It is what it is. But either way, Ritter today had 10 rushes, 45 yards, so not a bad day on the ground, and he got a touchdown.
Yep.
All right. So that's kind of, again, that dual threat part of him. And in the air, 20 for 36, 210 yards, a touchdown and an interception. So not horrible stats, but again, that's 16 passes, and I would be willing to bet that 80% of them or so were his fault. They were inaccurate. The interception that he had, not directly his fault. That was off the receiver's hands. The receiver tipped it, and then it went to a defender. But still, you can still find blame in the quarterback on a lot of those tipped balls because it could have been placed better, or that receiver was in too tight of coverage. He should have gone somewhere else with the ball. I want to be critical of guys that I am fans of or
Right.
trying to watch, because if they are able to overcome those criticisms, then that means that they got something. For me, now, Ritter, he's going to get drafted. He was an outside look at a Heisman guy this year, and I don't think he's going
He's not playing up to that right now.
Like, after 2 games, he's not that guy.
No.
He could be a mid-round quarterback, and I like to also kind of look at these guys and think, like, where do I see him fit into an NFL offense? And I see him as being that upside backup quarterback right now. It's
With his ability to run, you look for a team that either has that system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there a team that's trying to transition to maybe have a package?
possibly that's becoming more popular.
Yeah.
We're seeing more of it this year. I mean, you have. And I know we're getting a little bit in the NFL this year, but obviously Taysom Hill, he kind of like
Right, he
broke
has that package,
He
right?
broke that barrier a little bit along Tim Tebow back in the day started to kind of break that a little bit.
I think of Baltimore, right? So they have Lamar Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, but their backup is Trace McSorley, and it's
did
because
he make the team?
oh shit!
I don't think he made the
Did
team.
he get cut? Because
Yeah.
I know he was there last year.
We'll look into that. But I get where you're going.
But because you don't want your offense to change a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So where does that guy fit in? Is that a Seattle? Late pick Seattle? Were you worried about Russell
Maybe.
Wilson's?
But I mean, so you look at the 49ers and the Bears, right? Trey Lance and Justin Fields. They both are going to be starters in this league,
Yeah.
probably high-level starters, but they have a not necessarily established quarterbacks, okay, but Garoppolo is a average starter in the league. Can be argued that he's worse or better or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
And I would say the same thing about Andy Dalton. He is an
Right.
established starter, but he is not entrenched.
and
He
more
is,
in the twilight of his career, probably based on how well he's been playing. Like his next job is going to be a backup. I would be willing to bet.
well, his job now should be a backup, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So you have these teams though with those rookie quarterbacks, they are actually rotating them in because both of those guys in Trey Lance and Justin Fields are more mobile guys. They bring a different dimension to your offense, and we saw it in week 1.
Yeah, and
Those guys are getting rotated in
is
for
that something that Ritter can
5
provide?
plays a game. I think that is something that he could provide. I don't know how you value that much higher than like a 3rd or 4th round
That's
pick.
what I'm thinking, like a 3rd or 4th, because unless he starts to go out there and ball out. Now,
Yeah,
'cause you
if
said
he
you got to
figures it
watch
out.
you got to watch the first half. I got to
Mm-hmm.
come home, kind of sit down and catch some tail end of that game and some highlights. There are some things I like about Ritter. I think his arm he's got a lot of arm talent. I just don't think he knows what the fuck he's doing with it yet.
Yeah.
I
I don't like the offense that he's in.
don't necessarily know that I like the offense. Cincinnati runs a very vanilla.
Yes, with even just sitting there watching compared to Indiana, Indiana's offense was way more suited towards Ritter's style.
Yeah.
It's too much just like the bland vanilla. We are going to create a pocket.
3, 5, 7-step drops.
Yeah,
Where fucking
there's not a moving pocket for him. There's not as many designed plays for him, like RPOs and things like that, which could really benefit him. So while Cincinnati, like they're a good team, I don't think the offense is good for him and his skill sets.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
McSorley, he was cut, re-signed to the practice squad, so he's a practice squad
he is still
quarterback
there, but I mean, so he fits that same mold, right? He's that type. He's Lamar type, right? He can run. Now he looked fucking terrible when he played last year against Cleveland. We almost won that game thanks to McSorley. But so you can have a package for these types of guys. Now I like Ritter. Now that I was actually able to watch a little bit of him. He's got a lot of arm talent, like I said. Doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with it yet. I think he needs a little bit more coaching. Luke Fickell, their head coach, is a defensive coach. He was a defensive coordinator at Ohio State. And I don't know how much offensive coaches Cincinnati's really pulling in, like high-level coaches. So maybe with a little bit of higher-level coaching, offensive-minded coaching, Ritter takes that step. But
No, I'm still intrigued by the guy, and I'm still now
his
like I
little
said,
wiggle
committed.
that he had to score that rushing touchdown makes me intrigued, because if you can do that to basically another professional athlete, that's
Yeah.
special.
I feel like he's neutered in that offense, and that I'm going to continue to watch him for the rest of the year because I'm invested now. But I feel like he's neutered by the offense. I would like to see him rise and overcome the offensive scheme stuff that's going to hold him back, because I still think he's an exciting player. But yeah, moving on from that, which, I'm not sure how many Bearcat fans we
Yeah,
have here.
probably not a lot. But hey, listen, I'll talk about anything Ohio football all day.
But big game for me enjoying to watch today, especially down to the end. Alabama, Florida.
God, what
All
a
right?
fucking good game.
So 31-29, Alabama wins this. Most people picked Alabama to win, but most people
Yeah.
picked Alabama to win by a lot more because
To cover.
Like, we were-
everybody picked Alabama to cover. I picked Alabama to cover, but you know what? If I'm going to lose a bet, this is not one I mind losing, because Florida gave other teams with maybe a little bit more talent a recipe on how to beat Alabama.
that's true. So it was the option, like the RPO and stuff for the Gators today, that helped them out. We talked about this earlier because as we were getting prepped to record, I was sitting here listening to the game. I had a bet on the game too. I had Florida plus 14, and obviously they covered that.
Definitely covered the 14.
Alabama, most people, I believe, or at least what I feel people believe, and I feel myself, is that Alabama is an NFL
NFL
talent
light.
team.
They
are
cannot. I don't care what anybody says. There's no fucking way any college team is beating a professional team. You give me Alabama versus Jacksonville against the Giants. I don't give a fuck.
Texans, Jets.
The worst goddamn team in NFL history.
I think they win 1 out of 10 games.
The best college team in history does not beat the worst NFL team in history.
So I don't think
there's just so much more talent in the NFL.
That's true. I don't think this is the best Alabama team ever.
No.
But
that's what I'm saying.
But I
It's
would
like,
say
it doesn't matter. Take the best team of all time
the
in
best
college.
Alabama team of all
The
time.
best
or
college team of
college
all time against the worst NFL team of all time. The best college team maybe wins 1 out of 10.
I think they at least take 1 out of 10.
Okay, every single one of these guys from Alabama is not going
Detroit
to the
Lions?
NFL. Yes. Give me the 0-16 team against the best team of all time. Every single one of these guys on Alabama is not going to get drafted.
That's true.
Neither, even from the best team of all time. But you know who was drafted? Damn near everybody on that fucking 0-16 team. You know who, if they weren't drafted, was desired enough to be paid a astronomical amount of money? Everybody on that 0-16 team. There is not a college team ever that is going to consistently beat the worst NFL team ever. There are levels to this shit.
I would agree with not consistently beating them, but
Maybe
I think
1 out of 10.
I think 1 out of 10 is an easy bet that they would win
1 out of 10,
but
sure.
I think they would cover.
I don't know, man. Like, what's the spread on that game?
Fucking
10 at least.
I don't know. I feel like that's breaching into the realm of we're talking about these celebrity fights.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, like Holyfield versus Jake Paul or some bullshit like that.
Holyfield shouldn't fight anybody because he is done.
Yeah,
he's a 50-year-old man. He should not have been in that fight.
I'm sad I didn't take Vitor in that fight because, I thought about it. I was hovering over him. I was hovering over Anderson Silva.
So if you're looking to make money off an old man getting beat up, that was where you do it.
Yeah. But either way, it was a fun game to watch. Okay, so Florida actually, in the second half especially, they looked like the better team. Alabama had a lot of penalties, and Alabama was still scoring in the second half, but they were getting,
Florida outplayed them
not as well.
Basically the entire second half.
Yeah, definitely.
Florida's early lead is what let them hang on to this 31-29 win.
It was Alabama that had the early lead.
No, that's what I'm saying. That Alabama, did I misspeak? I might have said
Florida's early lead.
Alabama's early lead is what let them hang on to this win, because if Florida plays the same way for all 4 quarters, Florida wins this game.
Like I said, I bet the spread. I almost bet the line because I am not like a huge Florida fan or anything. I think that they are undervalued right now, and their quarterback isn't even the guy that I was expecting to kind of be the one to light it up today. We again talked about this a little bit beforehand, but they played really well. So their quarterback here, I'm pulling it up because I'm bad with the names.
So there's Emory Jones.
Yep, Emory Jones,
who is a guy that I knew because he was a commit to Ohio State.
And Emory Jones had himself a day. I mean, 18 to 28 for 195 yards and an interception. Not great passing numbers, but 19 rushes for 77 yards.
Exactly.
And a touchdown.
That was one nice thing that I really liked about Emory coming to Ohio State is he gives us that extra option, something that we haven't had. Justin Fields is a runner, but didn't run. Mm-hmm. So Emory Jones was a true dual threat. Well, you absolutely will run the read option with Emory Jones. So it's not surprising to see those kinds of numbers. But there's a guy, the AR-15, that you were talking about.
Anthony Richardson, number 15 or AR-15, like they're calling him. He's a freshman, big dude, 6'4", 236. We saw him last week actually play very well and keep that team in the game. He is a legit dual threat quarterback talent. It was like 11 rushes for almost 200 yards that he's had on the season so far.
So the kid's got legs for days.
That's who I expected. I expected it to actually be a rotation between Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson, and it wasn't at all. It was just all Emory Jones today.
I'm going to have to watch this Florida team a little bit more because I know about Emory Jones because of his commit at one point to Ohio State. But this AR-15 kid, so he is a dual threat guy. From what it sounds like is, now I'm not going to make a comp to probably the most gifted athlete in the NFL in Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tim Tebow.
Don't derail the show like that. No, but like, so if this guy can really run like the way you say he can run, and I have not seen him, so I'm gonna have to check
he's
him
a
out.
thick boy for sure. And
So Lamar's a little slender. This guy's a thick boy.
he's not as thick as like a Dante Culpepper.
Well,
but
not as
a
thick
little
as
bit slighter.
obviously the thickest podcast in the game.
Couple C's, couple K's at the end.
Yeah. God, do we need the K's? I feel like
As long as we keep it to 2 or less.
okay, all right. The minimum of 3 C's,
Yeah.
2 K's, max. All right, we're good.
Man, now that makes me just to completely derail this shit. I wish that like we could have a thick boy football team, and then the stickers that you get on the helmets are just C's. How many fucking C's has
How
this
many
thick boy earned?
fucking C's did
that would
he
be
get?
fucking dope. Yeah. Back to the game though. It was just down to the end. Especially in the second half, every time that the Gators got the ball, they were doing some exciting shit. They kept it real close. And Alabama was on their heels. It's the first time that I've seen Alabama on their heels in a little while. And lots of penalties for Alabama
Yeah.
today. Nick Saban was just fucking probably going
losing
crazy.
his shit. Yeah.
Really fun game. Gators were 11 coming into this game, ranked 11, and I think that this kind of shows that they are going to be a riser. They're going to be a tough team going forward to face, and we'll see where they end up going in the playoffs here.
So here's my thing, and now I am not gonna sit here and talk shit about Alabama. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I fucking hate Alabama. There's no question about my hate for Alabama.
And I dislike Alabama just because I like parity. I like changing
Right.
things, and I don't like how they're just a powerhouse every year.
And you're not a big college football guy, but you know that Alabama is always a national
Yes,
powerhouse,
yes.
right? I'm an through and through Ohio State fan. Last year, yes, last year. My son and I went and we watched the Clemson Ohio State game up in Phoenix because, well, we're not that far away. It was fantastic, and then we go out and we get our asses beat by Alabama. So fuck Alabama. I was really happy to win a national championship game over Alabama and then Oregon. Anytime we can beat Alabama, it's great. This Florida team exposed some things that I don't know that would have normally been exposed. The ability to have a dual threat quarterback is vital. Bryce Young played well. Alabama's quarterback played very well. 22 of 35. Now, it's not a high completion percentage, but 240 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alabama is going to lose a game this year. And it's not because and it's not even necessarily because Florida exposed something. At some point, Bryce Young is going to have a freshman quarterback moment.
Yep.
That's going to happen.
I mean,
always
245
happens.
yards on the ground against Alabama. That's what
That's
probably surprised me
insane.
the most.
But that's because they have the threat at quarterback.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen unless you have a threat at quarterback, in my opinion. There's no fucking way a Nick Saban-led defense gives up 245 unless Zeke's in the backfield or you have a threat at quarterback. That's the last time they have given up anywhere near that amount of yards is when the best running back in college football, probably one of the top 15 running backs in college football all time, was hammering them because Zeke was a absolute stud in college.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you real quick here. You said that Alabama's going to lose a game this year.
They are.
All right. Now, that's without the benefit of looking at their schedule here.
Yep.
I'm looking at their schedule, and I don't see a game where I think someone's going to beat them. You tell me who's going to beat them.
Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Okay. We're talking, outside of.
Okay, so
the
I'm going to have to
regular season.
look. I don't know.
We got.
They're going to lose one.
Southern Miss is up next.
No.
Ole Miss,
No.
Texas A&M.
Yes. That's it. That's
You
all right.
think that's going to be it?
That's it.
I don't know if that's going to be it.
That's the game.
All right. Beyond that, Mississippi State,
Fuck no.
Tennessee.
No.
LSU.
Fuck no. LSU, I would like to think that has a chance they won't.
I don't think they will. New Mexico State.
New Mexico State.
Yep.
That's not even a fucking school.
No, I mean, maybe it's not
The
Bishop
Lobos.
Sycamore.
Oh, is it Lobos?
No.
Cowboys.
It looks like Cowboy. Yeah.
Cowboys. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a team that I would play with in NCAA.
It's a bye week.
Yeah, it's a bye week.
It's a bye week.
That's a team that you take in NCAA 14 when there was still a game and try to get them to a national championship.
Arkansas,
Fuck no.
Auburn.
Ooh, so Auburn is always tough.
It'll be a fun game to watch tonight.
It'll be fun.
That's the game I'm watching tonight.
Penn State
Is
and
the
Auburn, I'm
whiteout
very
game.
excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Texas A&M. All right.
A&M. They're
Put it-
losing to A&M.
Put it on your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. October 9th, Alabama is going to lose.
A&M, yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching
100%.
your bet for that game.
Yeah, I'll put money on that for sure.
All right. There we go. You
Listen,
got your
hey,
bet right now.
I'm telling you.
We haven't gotten to the betting portion of the game, but October 9th, that's when the bet's going down.
I have no problem calling my shot.
Yeah.
Listen, we've actually done it quite a bit on this show. We've been calling our shots. So other podcasts like to kind of hedge their bets sometimes, right?
I'm going to watch more of A&M football right now to see what the fuck is going on.
A&M's
October
very good.
9th.
A&M is very good. But listen, if I'm wrong, I'll get on here and I'll fucking say I'm wrong. I don't give a shit about being wrong.
But we
I
do
am-
give a shit about being right.
Yeah, I do give a shit about being right. I'm not perfect, but I have no problem fucking calling a number, taking my shot. Like, I feel like, so we're not real big on hot takes so far on this show.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that, but we will call our shot. We will, I guess that is our hot take, is we'll call our shot. You got the Latavius Murray. You got the Le'Veon Bell. I got the Cam Newton. I'm calling it. A&M beats Bama.
All right.
Like that's not. I don't feel like it's a hot take. I'm calling my shot because you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fucking bet that game.
All right.
So
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Maybe I'm going to follow you on the betting line. We'll see. I just don't know enough about A&M right now to say yes or no. Obviously they're ranked 7th, but now I'm going to watch the game. They won 34-0 today against New Mexico.
yeah,
But
I guess New Mexico. It's New Mexico.
Yeah. All right. So your Buckeyes had a game today against Toledo.
Yeah, fucking Ohio State sucks.
Oh.
I don't know what else to say. Like, okay, so we won. We won by a large margin.
You more than doubled their points.
Yeah. We should have covered. We should have been better on defense. Now, the thing that has crippled Ohio State in the first 2 games was the running game. You know what we did? Stop the run. You know what we didn't fucking do? Stop anything else. Tulsa basically did whatever the fuck they wanted
In the air.
in the air.
In the air.
Because
428 yards
Yeah,
in the air.
because we had to commit so much to stopping the run. It's not the player. I'm telling you, it's not the players. Ohio State is talented. Maybe they're not playing up to their potential. Sure.
I don't know.
I can see that.
You were going against threats like Juan Carlos Santana.
Hey, that is a fucking Class A name.
It is.
Do not disrespect him.
Dude, it makes me think of the singer guitarist Santana.
Yeah.
And Juan Carlos is fucking phenomenal.
It's the scheme. We cannot. We're committing too much to one area. We are. I don't know if it's the formation. Like, listen, I love the Silver Bullets.
Hey,
That's what they're called. They're Silver Bullets, right? There is a specific position. It's the bullet position, right? We need to make some scheme changes because people are starting to figure it out.
scheme changes or coaching changes? Because last time you said that you think that the D coordinator needs to go.
Dude,
What do you think after today?
I said that if we did not stop the run, the defensive coordinator had to go.
Well, you stopped the
we
run,
stopped
but
the
you
run.
completely opened up your fucking thighs to the pass.
Yeah, we got railed hardcore by the pass. He might have to go. Like Ryan Day. Now, granted, we gave up 20 points to Tulsa. We doubled them up. This is not a refineable offense. I don't care who you are,
But it's Tulsa.
but it's Tulsa.
That's still the question is you're not going to fire a
You
guy after
can't
a
fire
loss.
him after this because
But-
we won by fucking 21 points.
It's not a positive sign.
No, it's not. This Ohio State team should not. I hope we don't make the playoffs at this point because you know what happens if we make the playoffs? We get embarrassed because we cannot stop anybody on defense.
Does that help recruiting?
I think
Not making it to the playoffs?
if you go to a bowl game and dominate your bowl game, I think that helps recruiting more than making the playoffs and getting your ass beat.
I could see that. Now, you said recruiting might be a problem. specifically surrounding the quarterback.
So we have recruited very well. So obviously we got Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
We
Which we're very excited to watch.
yes, C.J.
By the way,
Stroud.
little breakaway. One of our refs today had fucking awesome flow mullet.
Oh,
going.
did he have a fucking mullet?
Oh, that was
Our
great.
referee
I
was
went
a
out
giant
there,
asshole.
and I like while we were waiting for the other team to come out, and my boys weren't out there. I went out and I was like, "Hey, how much time we got left in the clock, boys?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, you got like 15 minutes." And I was like, "Yeah, man." I'm just honored to be out here on the field with you with that fucking flow.
That fucking flow.
Dude, that mullet was just curling.
I didn't wear a hat today specifically, so growing the hair out. Been growing it out for a while.
Yeah, I haven't cut my hair in like 2 months.
Yeah, as you shouldn't because you're a DAC now.
Yeah.
I actually got a braid in this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. I'd like to get it a little longer.
I thought it was cute.
I mean, I'd fuck me.
Yeah. Well, Amber would.
Damn right she would. Producer of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Amber, my wife.
Shout
I'm just
out.
going to give her random job titles.
Shout out.
She does my TikToks because I'm on the sidelines.
Executive
screaming
Vice
at kids.
President of Mike's Pleasure Town.
Actually, we were talking. We need to probably think about actually creating a business, like an actual business account for this thing. Now, we don't make any goddamn money doing it, but
But sooner or later, we're going to get sued for one of our takes.
hopefully, hopefully we will eventually make money, or we'll get sued for a take. And I would like
I'll be the one getting sued.
I would like an
guarantee it.
LLC to take responsibility for that rather than me
Yeah.
personally.
Yep.
So, the name's in the progress, but that'll be a producer,
Yep.
and you can take all your complaints to her.
Back to football.
Yeah, let's get the fuck. Yeah,
CJ Stroud, what did you think of his performance today?
he's fucking terrible, dude. God damn it.
15 for 25, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
He starts every game so fucking slow. Like, I get it. You're a freshman. I understand learning the process. You cannot start every goddamn game this slow and not pick it up until at least the third
He
quarter.
did have a good stat line rushing, though.
I don't give a fuck.
He was 2 for negative 14. So,
Fuck you.
yeah.
God damn it. I would like to see another guy in there. You know who I'm really excited to see?
Quinn Ewers.
Quinn fucking Ewers next year. Okay, I don't want to bury an 18-year-old. That's not what I'm about. But this is not working. He cannot throw on the run. He does not create an extra threat. He's not running the ball at all.
Let her rip, Tater Chip. There we go.
Fuck! No,
He's allergic to CJ Stroud's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Stroud. Our running backs, fantastic.
That's what I was going to say. Highlight of the day, I think, for your team is Trayvon Henderson.
He's a fucking stud. He's a true freshman, ran for almost 300 yards.
Yeah, 277, 11.5 yards per carry.
He's
and
a
3 touchdowns.
fucking stud.
Ugh.
But we need a passing game.
Yeah.
And Stroud does not excite me. He overthrows everything. There needs to be a switch there. And if they cannot figure out a way to slow down the fucking offense, great, we stopped the run today. But we gave up 450 fucking yards passing.
Yeah, at this point, you go up against a highly ranked, good offensive team.
We're fucked.
The passing game, like, cool if you're able to limit the run, but if you're throwing, almost 500 or getting almost 500 yards thrown on you against Tulsa,
And it's Tulsa.
it's gonna be
It's
rough going.
fucking Tulsa.
Mhm.
I don't know how much more angry I could be about the way Ohio State looks. I thought with our receivers deciding to come back and, I thought, man, maybe we got a quarterback. These guys want to come back and improve their draft stock.
How's that gonna hurt some of their draft stocks?
And it's going to drastically hurt. Like,
You're talking about receivers that should be
Garrett
able
Wilson
to bail people out.
Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave are the two best receivers in college football.
You
They
heard
are-
it here. Two best in college football.
They are the two best in college football. They will probably, if we can figure out a way to get them the fucking ball, they will be the first two drafted. But we can't fucking do that. They were first round picks. Well, Olave was a first round pick last year. Garrett Wilson was probably a second round pick last year. and they came back.
Olave was probably a first round pick. I don't know about Garrett Wilson.
Second round pick. Second round pick.
I would say top end second round pick probably.
Yeah. But so those are 2 first round picks. Those are 2 top receivers. They're the 2 best in college football.
Penn State's ahead right now, by the way, 7-3.
Okay.
I didn't know that game was going right now.
It is
I
right
thought
now.
it was going to be later.
But yeah, we've got to figure something out. This is not fucking working.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more I can spend on college football without losing my fucking shit.
Well, what about Nebraska, Oklahoma?
Good on Nebraska. I'm glad you guys fucking lost though.
Yeah, well, they 50th anniversary of the greatest game or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to see the number 3 Sooners. I wasn't really that surprised. I thought it was going to be much more of a blowout.
Oklahoma
16
is
to 23
overrated.
though. Yeah, they're overrated. Probably, do you think it's a little bit Spencer Rattler? Just like people are like,
Yeah,
we're going to follow the teams that have these.
Don't get me
potential
wrong.
Top picks.
At one point last year, I almost broke my arm jerking off to Spencer Rattler.
That's gross.
He's a stud.
But to your do your thing. I'm whatever.
He's a stud. He's gonna be so good.
I want to
But-
see more from him. I'm not. I think he's going to be good, but I'm not convinced yet. I'm just not convinced yet.
I don't trust the Oklahoma team. I don't. Well, and I know you heard me at the very first week of the fucking bets. Nebraska's trash.
Yeah.
Nebraska is trash.
Well,
but where the
trash
fuck is
that held
Oklahoma?
in there with Oklahoma, number 3 Oklahoma.
Yeah, but Oklahoma barely beat. Who the fuck was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
I don't know. You're asking for too much history here.
Stand by.
While he's looking that up, the big play from that game though, big ass interception, one-handed, really beautiful interception. Go ahead and get on your computer, your old naked lady giver, and find the video of that interception. Great one-handed interception, basically to seal the game there.
Nope, I don't want that.
Uh-oh.
That was the interception that popped up.
Yep. You can't help but see
That
it.
is the first thing that will pop up if you type in the Oklahoma Sooners.
Michigan State upset Miami, number 24 today, 38-17. I actually didn't bet on that, but I was very seriously considering it. I thought Michigan State was going to roll over Miami. Derek King had himself a pretty good day, 38 of 59, 388 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a fun guy to watch, an interesting name. Probably not great NFL prospect unless you are looking for one of those kind of dual threat type of guys or something, just because he's so small.
So last week, Oklahoma beat Western Carolina
Okay.
76-0, as they should,
Yeah.
because it's Western Carolina. However, the week before, they played Tulane 35-40.
Closer than
That's
it
a
should have been,
D1
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's a little overrated.
Yeah. You want to talk overrated?
Yeah, fucking A, I do, because I know where we're going with this.
Notre Dame, Purdue.
Yeah, fucking Notre Dame sucks.
Yeah.
I don't.
Hey, Notre Dame won.
Yeah, Notre
Number
Dame
12.
won, but they're not good.
27-13. They barely took it to the Boilermakers. Yeah. Again, we're gonna stick with this narrative. Notre Dame's a little overrated.
Are you gonna go with a little?
Yeah, just a little overrated.
Where are they at? Where are they ranked right now?
12 as of before this game. I don't know where they're gonna be.
So
after.
now they're a little overrated. I don't know if they're a top 25 team.
Yeah, I think they're fringe by the end of the year.
Yeah, like I don't believe in them at all. Brian Kelly apparently just broke a record or tied a record for the most wins for Notre Dame, except for he fucking didn't because they took away some of his wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust Notre Dame. I don't believe in Notre Dame.
He broke the record. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you want to stroke yourself off.
Yeah, exactly. If you're trying to break your own arm, jerking yourself off.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep using that meme or that quote from fucking Rick and Morty until I'm blue in the face. By the way.
All right. And purple in the other head. So, yeah, college football, I think that pretty much wraps it up for right now. We got some pretty cool games that are going on this afternoon. Like we talked about the Penn State-Auburn game.
Penn
Looking
State.
forward to watching that. I'm going to keep
Georgia
that up.
Tech has the ball right now with 1:19 left, down 6-14 against Clemson. Clemson might be a little bit overrated.
They
and
are
I would-
also overrated.
I
yeah.
would love to see Georgia Tech come back, score a touchdown, and get 2 points and go into fucking overtime because I don't know if Clemson has enough fortitude right now to take on a Georgia Tech team, especially in a shortened, condensed field with Georgia Tech's fucking wing T offense. If they score, give me Georgia Tech in overtime.
You know,
For sure.
What's surprising to me is that number 4 Oregon only has 10 points against Stony Brook. I mean, there's 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But they took it to OSU last week.
Yeah, they did. A lot of teams taking it to OSU. I have to actually call them OSU now. I can't call them the Ohio State University.
You can still do that. They've got the lineage for it.
Yeah, they have the lineage, but they're not fucking playing.
But CJ Verdell, that's the guy that I'm definitely watching out of that Oregon team. He's already 6 carries for 44 yards.
He's a sophomore or a junior?
Let me check the Naked Lady Giver.
All right. Because if that kid is eligible,
He's a junior.
Yeah, if he's eligible for the draft.
He's a little short, 5'8", 211, but that guy is a fucking stud.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if he's 5'8". There are plenty.
You know what I want more of is Darren Sproles-sized running backs. I like those midgets fucking just running all over the goddamn
I don't
football
even
field.
necessarily need a speed guy. Who was the asshole down in Jacksonville?
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
He's a little chunky, thick boy.
Give me a 5'8", thick little motherfucker who will just run through a guy's face.
That snack-sized Snicker bar that you get on Halloween.
Yeah.
He's just fun, enjoyable, and just a little package.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll watch these college football scores as they're happening. If something cool happens or whatever, we'll bring it up in the pod here as we're going along. But we're going to transition not from male to female, but over to NFL. So NFL football, Sunday football happens tomorrow, but we had a Thursday night game.
We did.
All right. So Thursday night was actually very, very fun game to watch. Washington and Giants.
God, it was so good, and the Giants fucking gianted so hard.
Yeah, so 30-29, Washington barely ekes this out.
Yep.
Now, earlier I said, I will be able to get my true feeling on these teams after week 2 because week 1 was so weird. All right. We talked a lot about Washington and their defense and how fucking good they are.
They should be.
And, I thought they were, based off of last year, I thought they were actually good. But damn, if they didn't, 2 weeks in a row now, they're disappointing. They've got to turn it around because they've got so much talent on that team. And to let the Giants put up 29 points on you and keep the game that close is embarrassing.
They should have lost.
They should have lost.
If it weren't for the offsides that may have actually not been an offsides.
Rewatching that now, I don't think it was an offside.
No, it was the perfect timing of the snap.
Yeah, the defensive or that lineman got off at the correct time. He was lined up next to the ball. So as soon as the ball started to move, he was there. He was off the ball fast, doing his job, and he got flagged.
Yeah.
All right.
That's tough. That's a tough way to lose a game.
It's
and
real
Washington
tough.
got very lucky. I am not. I don't know if I'm betting Washington again for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that good.
Yeah. So Heineke looked okay. I mean, he put up good numbers.
Their offense looks better than their defense, and their defense is supposed to be their strong suit.
Heineke surprised me. So Heineke being a former Vikings quarterback, I was a fan of Heineke. I wanted him to be our backup for years because I liked what I saw out of him. I never wanted him to be our starter. But he's actually progressed way further than I thought he would. Still, I think a backup quarterback, but he's some guy that you can throw in there and win games with for sure.
He is becoming a high level backup in the NFL.
Yeah.
He is a 33 to 40 range quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
You can win with him.
Not necessarily Gardner Minshew level, but close.
You can win with him, but you don't want to have to start him.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll be critical of him here. He threw a absolutely horrible interception in a time in the game when you don't want to. It was just
why the
really
fuck
poor,
did they
really
put the ball in the air was my question.
And I think that just goes to experience. He was probably not up to the moment right there. But then again, he gets the ball back, drives his team down the field into field goal range, and
His
Dustin
kicker
Hopkins
misses
misses the field goal right. But don't worry, there's that penalty that we were just alluding to, which brings the ball forward 5 yards, gives him another chance to the kick, and Dustin Hopkins almost misses it right again. He just squeaks it into the right side of the field goal post, and Washington comes out with that win. All right.
So I got paid because Washington won. I didn't bet the spread. I bet the money line. Thank God.
Yeah, it's surprising. Look,
They're not good.
I don't think the Giants are a good team.
No.
That like Daniel Jones again didn't impress me. He was absolutely atrocious in the first half. Saquon Barkley it's gotta like I think yes, I know you said before on a previous pod that you think he's overrated. I think he's overrated at this point too.
A little bit. I'm
But-
not saying that he's not. I'm not saying he's bad.
I feel really bad for him because he's one of those like I wouldn't say generational talents, but he is just one of those top 5 type running backs that has been on a team.
I don't think he
that
is
has
that guy.
you know.
I don't.
I think he has that potential, but he's just been on the Giants, and it's all been on his shoulders. And then you get these situations like his fucking knee.
Listen,
it
you
happened
can
with Adrian
have-
Peterson.
You can have a great year and be on a bad team.
You can.
You know who I thought was going to be fantastic and wasn't?
Tim Tebow.
No. You're trying to derail the show again. All right. No, Trent Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Richardson looked like a guy who was going to be a franchise running back.
Yeah,
He broke Jim Brown's records in Cleveland. That shit does not happen. You know what he wasn't?
A star NFL running back.
He was barely an NFL running back after we traded him to Indy.
Yeah.
I like Saquon. Saquon has so much physical ability, but I don't know if he puts it all together. I think he's overrated.
I'm worried that he's going to end up having a Todd Gurley career here real quick.
I'm not worried about necessarily the injury derailing it all. I just think that he was such a focal point of an offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was huge for Penn State. And then he was a massive focal point of the Giants offense in his rookie year. Running backs wear down. They wear down quickly. We've talked about this. You don't make it past 30 damn near at all. anymore.
That's why I'm saying I see the Todd Gurley comp with him because Todd Gurley was so overused with the Rams. He was one of those.
I thought you were saying something different about that.
No. I think Todd Gurley was an elite, talented running back, and he was so overused. I mean, he was getting over 400 yards or 400 carries per
If
season.
you touch 400 carries, 400 touches in a year, you're being used too fucking much.
Like the team should have no choice but to trade you at the top of your value at that point. Because it's abusive at that point.
Yeah, it's fucking like.
And
So
it happens on teams where they don't have a good offense.
That
but they
is
have a good
why
running back.
I am not high on Derrick Henry because his usage is so goddamn high.
Yeah.
That's why I love
Of
Nick
running
Chubb.
backs, though, who could handle that, he has the body
Derrick
that can
Henry
handle
is
it a
the
little
only
bit more.
guy who is built for that.
But I mean, look at Adrian
But
Peterson.
Saquon
So,
is not.
Adrian Peterson, he's a bigger guy, not as big as Derrick Henry by
Oh,
any
no,
means.
there are not
but
many
he
guys
was
that
the
are.
focal point of the Vikings offense, and you saw injuries happen, right?
Yes.
And you saw him start to degrade because of those. Now, I think, and I'm biased, but Adrian Peterson is one of the best NFL running backs ever. And then he has his career kind of starting to get shut down because of those injuries, and then hitting the balls with a switch. And
Adrian Peterson is the second best running back that I have seen with my eyes and actually watched their games.
behind Barry Sanders.
No, I didn't watch Barry Sanders play. I'm not that fucking old. When did Barry Sanders?
He played in the 90s.
Okay, so what, 95?
95, 96, something like that, yeah.
I think he retired in 95. I was 7. I was a big baseball kid growing up. I didn't get really huge into football until the Browns came back and they made it to the playoffs with the Steelers. So, no, shit, that before that. When the fuck? All right, so I do like Sackett's idea of having drinks while we're on the podcast,
Yeah.
but it does kind of derail the show.
That's when we need to bring in a third person who is just our fact checker.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders retired in 1999.
99. Okay, so I did see Barry Sanders play.
Yeah.
I saw Barry Sanders play.
And I still, like, I watched Walter Payton on film. Like, my dad was a big Bears fan from the Chicago area, so I've got VHS tapes that I would watch.
My dad was my dad
Big
was
Peyton
born in
fan.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Huge Bears fan.
Yeah, so I got to see the fridge. I got to see Walter Payton and all that stuff. And so I absolutely respect Walter Payton, great running back. But for me, it's Barry Sanders, the best running back I've seen.
So, but that was a tough time for me. That time when he retired,
Mm-hmm.
because the Browns were leaving.
Okay.
There is a time where I didn't have
Football. NFL football.
I had that. That's why I'm basically my entire year of football always hinged on Ohio State because the Browns were dog shit, or they were gone, or they were dog shit.
So me watching football, my top 3, and I'm not going to order them because, again, drinking, Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson.
Okay, so I didn't watch a lot of Barry Sanders. LaDainian Tomlinson was my number 1. And then it was Adrian Peterson. Those are the guys that when I started watching and playing football, because I didn't get to play football until I was in 8th grade. I wasn't allowed to. My mom would not let me. I was a really good baseball player. I could not play football. She would not let me touch a football field. We got dogs barking. Hey, shut up!
I'm only adding to it.
I did not watch a ton of football because I was a huge baseball guy. When I really got into football, LaDainian Tomlinson is my guy. He was so dynamic, and then give me Adrian Peterson. I still remember Adrian Peterson running through, 8 guys on the fucking Cleveland Browns when we played the Vikings. So that's where I go with that, is LT and then Adrian Peterson. You cannot give the ball to a back that much anymore.
Yeah.
He was overused in college. He was the entire Penn State team. And now he was way, well, I don't know if he was overused. He was used the same level that CMC is used, who I worry about as well. When he got his massive contract, I was like, oh man, I'm worried for him.
Yeah.
Because they get cut or they get hurt. He got hurt last year, so we'll see what happens. I love Saquon. He is a supreme talent, but supreme talent doesn't always win in the NFL. Look at Jadeveon Clowney. He was one of the most dominant defensive ends in college. One of the most dominant defensive ends when he came into the NFL. He was physically superior to damn near everybody else who lined up at that position. That does not always equate to production. And that worries me about Saquon.
Yeah. I think Saquon is, unfortunately, I don't have faith in his career really ever having much of a peak from where it's already been just because of the injury. So, again, not to just talk about the Vikings, but Adrian Peterson.
Saquon, prove me fucking wrong. Go out there and rush for over 2,000 yards.
I really like him.
You're not going to do it on the goddamn Giants, though. They're going to pick up your 5th-year option. Yeah. There's no doubt. As soon as you can get the fuck out of New York, get the fuck out of New York.
And that's the thing that sucks, is that when you have such a supremely talented running back like that, they're going to go high. It's better off that you are a 2nd-round pick or later running back who ends up showing their talent in the NFL.
Nick Chubb's already got his new deal.
Yeah.
Saquon's on his rookie deal.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon. Like, very good running backs who were able to make their nut on their first rookie deal a little bit, but then now they're actually able to get a big amount of money later on. Like, that, not having that 5th-year option allows you to enter the market earlier and get paid. I think I said this in 1 or 2 podcasts ago. I wish there was a different structure for running backs when it comes to NFL rookie salaries.
I agree. There should be a different structure for running backs, and there should be a different structure for quarterbacks. There should be a separate cap for what you can do with a quarterback, because they take up so much fucking cap space.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen, and the cap is basically bullshit anyways, so they'll make it work, but good on Washington. I don't have a ton of faith in Washington now. After watching them give up that many points, letting fucking Danny Dimes run all over them. And I saw Chase Young get manhandled a couple times.
Yeah? I thought he had himself a pretty good game. I mean,
he had a decent game. But there were times where Chase Young got pancaked, which is not something I expected to see. There's one time he came in, it looked like they went to go run a twist, and he was absolutely fucking leveled. I don't know if Washington's defense is as good as we think it is. But this is week 1.
They're as talented as we think they are, but they're not playing to their potential. Yeah, I don't know. My gut tells me that Washington will figure it out. Ron Rivera will figure it out and get that defense turned around. But damn, if they have not looked good these first 2
Not
weeks.
at all. Not
right.
at all.
So that takes us. That's our
Keep
Thursday
going.
night game. But we're going to move on to our picks for the rest of the week. All right. So we'll want to keep the same format as before. Where we talk about our teams kind of towards the end.
Yeah, we'll keep our teams towards the end. Browns play early, and I believe the Vikings play early, or are they late?
They're mid afternoon.
All right, so we'll have a little bit reverse from last week.
But we'll start off then with the Cincinnati Bengals versus Chicago Bears over at Soldier Field. What are your thoughts about this game?
Bengals.
Bengals?
Yeah. Okay, so the Bengals came out.
So the line is Chicago.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
So the Bears played the Rams last week, correct?
Yep.
And the Rams is a very, very good team, a very good playoff team. And the Bears, I thought, did better than I expected against that team.
They ran the ball way better than I expected.
And I think it's only a matter of time before we start seeing Justin Fields at quarterback.
So if Justin Fields gets some more time, gets some more packages, then I could see the Bears winning. The Bengals surprised me.
So this is again.
I know,
Week 1 is weird. My Vikings played them last week. My Vikings did not look good, and they held into the game. All right. So I'm hoping for a turnaround this week for my Vikings, but I don't know that it's going to happen. We'll get into that later. But I think the Bengals are an okay team, but they didn't wow me for how bad the Vikings were playing last week. They should have been up a lot more, and this shouldn't have been a close game. So my worry is that the Bengals are just an okay team that played a Vikings team that was on a down day with a lot of penalties and some bad officiating, and the Bears played better than they should have against a very, very good team. Maybe the Bears are better than I give them credit for. Maybe the Bengals are not as good as they showed up last week, despite having it be a close game. This one is like the lines, like I said, 1.5 to Chicago.
It's basically a pick 'em.
This is tough for me.
I got Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati in this game. I think that Joe Burrow is that guy. I think Joe Burrow is a franchise quarterback. I think that they find a way to get it done. My only caveat is if they find a way to incorporate Justin Fields more into the game plan, I could see the Bears squeaking this out.
I think I'm going Bengals too. It's
go
tough for me.
Bengals.
I'm going Bengals too, and it's less because of all those things I just talked about, and more because I want an NFC North team to lose in the Bears, and I want the Bengals, who beat my Vikings last week, to win to show that they are a better team, and that's why we had some difficulty against them.
Well,
Like
we like parity in the NFL, right?
yes,
And that's one of the reasons that I think the Bengals, they actually show a little bit of parity. At the end of this week, the Bengals are in the lead of the AFC North
for how long?
this week.
Okay,
Because they will be the only 2-0 team in
Look,
the AFC North after this week.
I think I said
That's
it
a
before.
preview. That is a little foreshadowing to some of my other picks later on. But I think the Bengals actually come out. They're going to be 2-0 after 2 weeks
So
because
look-
Joe Burrow's going to do it.
I'll sell you on the Bengals right now. All right. Their offense is pretty stacked with talent. Okay, Joe Burrow is in the beginning of his career, and he's already looked very good. You have a extremely solid wide receiver group, and you have talented running backs in Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon. All right, dangerous
I
guys.
love Joe
Mixon
Mixon.
is dangerous.
I love
all right.
Joe Mixon.
The only question is their offensive line, and they held up okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Against a fully stacked Vikings pass rush.
Yes, absolutely. And then the defense, I wasn't too worried about them last week. And what I got from that game was that the defense for Cincinnati actually is improved from what I was expecting.
Yeah.
They got way more pressure on the quarterback. All right. Their defensive backs were
Hendrickson
okay,
performed better than I thought.
but their linebackers and especially their D-line played way beyond the expectation that I had for them. And I think I might have been sleeping on that a little bit. I'm not sold on Hendrickson, but he did show up and play very well last week. So yeah, give me the Bengals. I'm not sure about the line. I'm not sure how I would bet on that one, but I think the Bengals are going to win that game.
And it's Bengals plus 1.5, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I got the Bengals on the on the spread, and I got Bengals outright there. I don't trust Nagy. I don't trust Andy Dalton.
I fucking hate Matt Nagy, and that's why I love that he's a head coach in the NFC North.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't pick the Bears, man. I can't until now. They showed a little bit of game in that fucking Sunday night game. I don't believe, but it's very early in the season. They could absolutely prove me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
I at the end of the day, I don't see the Bears being much more than like a 500 style team, but
no, I have the Bears at under 500, maybe 7-10.
yeah,
Now with the
that's
new
500 is their
17-7.
top end for me. But
Yeah.
So moving on.
Oh, and to go back to our last mailbag question, does this mean that I'm worried about the Bengals? No. I think they get this win. I think they are leading the AFC North after 2 weeks.
Yeah,
But I think the Bengals eventually show themselves.
Last Sunday's game made me worried about the Vikings. It made me worried about the Vikings. I thought that they were going to be good in the NFC this year, and now I'm worried. And I think that just looking at our schedule based off of Week 1 and where we're going, these first 4 weeks we could go 0-4. Unfortunately, and that
defense
worries
needs
me.
to step up a little bit.
If we are able to pull out and come out of this first 4 weeks 500, I think we'll have a pretty good season. But that's not here or there. We can talk about that later. Moving on to our next game, the Rams versus the Colts, Lucas Oil Field, Indianapolis.
I don't believe the Rams. I want to say that the Rams are way better, and I want to bet this game. I actually am betting this game. This is one game that scares me.
You don't think the Rams are gonna just steamroll the Colts?
I want to say yes because I bet it. I think the Colts keep this close.
That's surprising to me.
I think the Colts are a little bit better than I thought they were. I don't know if the Rams are as good as I thought they were.
And the Colts just went down another offensive lineman too.
They did. I have the Rams winning. I don't know if they cover.
So I think that the Rams looked really good last week, but I think that was still a limited playbook from what we've seen from the Rams.
I
think that this was like just the dip the toe in the water to see how Matt Stafford does in this offense, and now the playbook is going to expand. I think that they're going to roll over the Colts.
Really?
Yeah.
They're gonna roll them.
Oh yeah. So
I mean,
line right now is
that's
the
great
Rams
for me.
by negative 3.5.
Okay. So I thought the line was bigger than that.
I think that the Rams
I got
cover
Rams.
6.
I got Rams by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think they cover 6
Okay,
at least.
so I was off on the line. I'm pulling it up right now.
I mean, it's what the line is right now. You might have bet it at a different time, but I think, again, I said before, I think Darrell Henderson is a better back than people are giving him credit for. I think he looked very good in that game, and then just the weapons. So I said that Cooper Kupp and Woods were both going to be 1,000-yard receivers with over 100 receptions. And they have more than just them for sure. They have Van Jefferson. They've got Tyler Higbee. They've got more than just 2 receiving options that are legit threats. Stafford fits very well in this offense. I wanted to see more from their defense against the Bears, but I think that there's the Rams to me are probably top 3 in the NFC.
Yeah. So I have the Rams money line. I think they win. I think the Colts play a little bit better than they did last week. I think Carson getting more acclimated with that offense will help. I'm not a huge Carson guy. I think that he played better than I thought he would. I like the Rams. I picked them.
Now
to
Carson
win.
didn't look good for part of the game though, right? It was
Part of the game.
Like first half, he just didn't really
Well,
look great.
there were times where he looked great. There were times where he held on to the ball too much. If he holds on to the ball too long against the Rams, he's fucked.
I'll say this: he has one of the highest turnover ratios of quarterbacks in like the last several years, and he didn't turn the ball over. So props to Carson on that. But again, I just don't trust the injuries. I don't trust Carson Wentz and him continuing to not turn the ball over, especially against an elite defense that the Rams have. I see a regression to the mean for Carson here. I think that the Colts, that was their max potential that we saw last week against Seattle, but I don't see them repeating. This is 2 weeks in a row where they're getting just knockout power offenses.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks offensive coordinator was on the Rams staff previously,
So he did
and
know a
so
little
it's
bit.
similar playbook. They're getting the same thing again this week on the offense, except with potentially overall, all around better talent. Because the Seahawks, yeah, they got Russell Wilson, they got DK Metcalf, who's the other receiver? Lockett. And then Carson at running back, who I think is hit or miss. Like, he's got super high potential, but again, injury guy and stuff like that. I think they've got a good offense in Seattle. I think they've got a great offense in the Rams. And you're coming from the McVay system, where it's like Seattle has a McVay system guy instead of McVay. I think that they got like 80% of what they're going to see this week.
You're right. Okay.
So that's why I see the Rams just rolling over the Colts.
No, I have the Rams. I'm betting the Rams. I don't know if they cover. I don't know if they cover. I got the Rams. I don't know if they cover.
I mean, Rams
I think
minus
it's closer.
3.5. I think that's at least.
I think they win
touchdown.
by 3. They might win by 3.
Yeah.
This is one of those
I'm
tough
seeing
games.
7 or 10.
Because we talked about this before the show
least.
started, that this week we're not 100% sure on a lot of teams. We don't know who everybody is. I got Rams. Colts might cover, but money line, I got Rams.
I'm going into my sports betting app right now because I didn't bet on this game. I'm going to bet now. I talked myself into it.
There you go. All right,
Going on from that, we have the Bills and the
so-
Dolphins, or do we need to take a little breaky poo?
We will take a little breaky poo for camera charge, and I got to take a piss. This vodka is running right through me.
Oh boy, running through you. Is that number 2?
No,
Action?
no, I gotta take a piss.
We need a little poopy
like
poop?
you would not believe.
All right.
So we will take a break, and then we will come back and we will cover the rest of the games. But guys, thank you so much for listening. You can follow us anywhere on social. We got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got Instagram. I actually posted something on Instagram
We got
recently.
nukes, knives, sharp sticks.
Hell yeah.
Do you know what quote that movie
Nope.
that's from? My favorite movie of all time, Aliens.
Okay.
R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
Yeah. I have a joke there, but that's inside baseball joke. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, for interacting with the show, for listening. So Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. There should be
OnlyFans.
There should be some new TikToks. We're not OnlyFans yet, even though I've talked about jerking myself off already once on the show. Thank you guys. We will be right back after this short break, and then we'll hammer out the rest of these games, and then we'll give you some bets coming up for tomorrow. That way, if you guys want to bet along with the show, you can do that.
$50 on the Rams covering? Yeah, I just did it.
All right, there we go. $50 on the Rams covering. Guys, we'll be right back. What's going on, you beautiful sons of bitches? This is the Lineman Lounge. We are back from our break.
We're
And
back.
we are ready to hop into some more NFL talk.
Yeah, so we left off with a game at Hard Rock Stadium
We did.
in Miami Gardens, Florida. The Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills.
Miami Dolphins versus Buffalo Bills. I got the Bills. I know we've had a little bit of discussion about this off the actual show itself. This is a tough game to kind of gauge. Is Miami as good as they were last week? Can they go and beat a team like New England? Well, they just showed they can, right?
Yeah.
They can go into their home.
Did
Fuck.
tight?
And they can beat them. Fuck again. So they prove they can go and do that. The Bills looked terrible on offense, and they could not put any fucking points on the board against the Steelers. So this game's kind of tough. I got the Bills because I believe the Bills will improve based on what they did last week, and I think the Dolphins maybe take a step back. But this is not an easy game to call. I'm actually staying away from this game on the bets.
Yeah, this is a real close final score to me. I actually got the Dolphins in this one by a slim margin, and I don't feel good about it. But so Buffalo Bills coming into this year, I thought were just going to be a powerhouse team, one of the better teams in the AFC. However, taking a step back to beginning of last year, I did not like the Bills. And then as the season went along and the way Josh Allen was playing, the way that he was having the connection with Stephon Diggs, it was like they're undeniable to me. They are a good team. He is a improving quarterback. And so by the end of the year, I thought, yeah, they're going to have a pretty consistent long run of being a solid team, a playoff team. And I still think that they have that potential. But then last week, and the way that they played the Steelers, who I think the Steelers are an average team, and have the potential to be below average, not very good.
I actually thought the Steelers would go under 500 for the first time in Mike Tomlin's career.
Yeah.
8-9.
Yeah, and so to have them have it that low scoring of a game and play that bad, it makes me get the feelings of, are the Bills regressing to the mean? And the mean for me with the Bills is just a average to above average team that may or may not slip into the playoffs. That's my fear with the Bills, though I don't not remember what they did at the end of last season, and I think that maybe week 1 was just one of those fluke weeks for them. It's their first time getting back into full-time NFL football, and they stepped on their crank and did not play very well. On the other side, the Dolphins, I've been kind of saying, hey, these guys are a fringe playoff team. They are getting better, and people are sleeping on them. And then they go into Foxborough, and they beat a very good Patriots team.
Drastically improved from last year Patriots team.
Newly
they're not
retooled.
the same Patriots.
No, not of like the Tom Brady area or anything.
No, they're
like
not
that.
the same Patriots from last year with Cam, where they couldn't produce any offense. The defense was suspect. That's not the same Patriots team. This is a drastically improved Patriots team.
They retooled their defense. They got a lot of new players in there, and the offense looks very reminiscent to what you would expect in a Tom Brady style offense.
A little more conservative, but
yeah. And I think the conservative part of it is they don't have any really big name offensive weapons. Not that, Tom did in the latter, years there. No. I mean, he had Edelman and stuff like that, but still, you've got Jacoby Myers, who is going to be their number 1 wide receiver, and he's going to do well in fantasy and things like that. But, they're going to be conservative with a rookie quarterback, and they're going to rely on a defense that should be very good. Either way, the Dolphins went in there and won a close game. It was down to the wire at the end.
Is that Patriots defense better than the Bills defense?
I think so.
You think so?
I think they are.
Because if that's the case, then
by the end of the year, I think they are.
You might swing
right
me
now,
to the Dolphins, but right now, I still think that Bills defense plays a little bit better than that Patriots defense. And I gotta believe that the Bills can put up more points. I mean, the Steelers are gonna have a good defense.
I think the Dolphins have a better offense than the Steelers' offense, and that they'll end up taking it more towards the Bill defense than they saw in week 1. Now, like I said, this is a tough one for me. I think the Dolphins squeak it up because they're going to play very hard on their home field, and they're going to be riding on the coattails of that win last week. But this seems like a very close game to me. Buffalo the line of Buffalo 3.5 under, it's scary to me. I'm taking the Dolphins, but by a slim margin. And this is another one of those pick'ems for me. It's tough.
I got the Bills a little bit because I'm betting them, so I have to take the Bills. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna come on the show and say I'm taking the Dolphins and then bet the Bills and then not give you guys what I think. But this is a very tough game. This is one of those picks that I have that is I'm not 100% sold on. I am a little leery of this pick. But I think the Bills do get it done. I think Josh Allen rebounds from a very tough week. I think that Steelers defense is much better than this Dolphins defense. So I'm going to give the edge to the Bills in that aspect.
Yeah, I'm picking the Dolphins, and I'm expecting to be wrong almost, because I feel like the Bills probably are closer to what they were at the end of last year than they were in week 1 of this year, and they could progress to the mean and get closer to what they were at the end of last year in this week than what I was thinking at the beginning of last year when I wasn't sold on the Bills.
Yeah.
They're a scary team. They have the potential to be in, top 5 AFC teams. So we'll see if they turn around from last week, because last week was a kind of dumpster fire for them.
Yeah, it was not great.
So next, Patriots-Jets. Talked a little bit about the Patriots and the Patriots taking that loss from the Dolphins. I think that, like I said, fringe playoff team of the Dolphins. I think Patriots are also going to be a fringe playoff team. They're going to be, battling with the Dolphins. They're playing the Jets. And
It's the Jets.
Yeah. Patriots got this game. I don't even think there needs to be a whole lot of talk about it.
No, the Patriots have this game by a lot because not only – so everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of Zach Wilson. But you give me Bill Belichick coached defense against any rookie quarterback, I'm going to take Bill. And I'm not sold on Zach Wilson at all. I think he's kind of a bust. So I got the Patriots by a good margin in this game. I'm not going to sit here and bury Zach Wilson any more than I have in the past. Bill Belichick, that defense against a quarterback that I think was way overdrafted, Patriots all day.
Yep, Patriots for me as well. And lines, New England -6. I'm probably taking that.
I'm
line.
gonna bet the Patriots to cover that.
Yeah. Next, 49ers and the Philadelphia Shithawks. The Eagles had a pretty good game last week.
They looked really fucking good.
Yeah, they looked
way
good,
better than I thought.
And they were playing the Falcons, and that's kind of what is tempering things for me.
Exactly.
So if you were to roll into Philly right now, they're probably talking Super Bowl again and talking about we need to get Big Dick Foles back in here to bring that good juju.
Well, that's what they got fucking Big Dick Minshew in there now for.
Yeah, but, I mean, I love Minshew, but Foles is like God to them.
Yeah, he's got a fucking statue outside the building.
Yeah. I am tempering my expectation for the Eagles based off of that first win because it was against the Falcons. I think the 49ers are a very, very talented team, top to bottom. Raheem Mostert getting hurt sucks for Raheem Mostert, but I think it actually progresses this team.
I agree. I was going to say the same thing. I didn't want to be a dick about it, but so Mostert is a great back, but Mostert being out allows them
He's
to
good for 5 carries in a year.
Allows them to do a lot of different things, allows them to work in other backs. I think this is a game where we can see Trey Sermon.
Hopefully Trey Sermon.
Yeah, I think this is a game where we can see Trey Sermon actually start to get some touches and make an impact.
Yep. But Elijah Mitchell, with last week's performance,
played great.
19 carries for over 100 yards and a touchdown, the most picked up player in fantasy football this past week, and it makes sense because he didn't look like he just caught the other team off guard. He looked like he was meant for the role. So I would like to see Trey Sermon get mixed in there because I drafted him in fantasy, and I drafted him higher than probably should have. But at this point, it's probably going to be a mix of the two rookies, Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon. And then they actually stole the running back from Baltimore as well, so he's on the active roster. So it makes it messy there. Shanahanigans, I believe we talked about last pod from Joe Rockstar's comment, and that's potentially what we could be seeing there in the running back room. Regardless, it's a wealth of talent rather than a dearth, and the 49ers have all sorts of talent.
Yeah, I've never understood. So Cleveland's one of those teams that has a wealth of talent. Well, how do you get everybody the ball? Who gives a fuck? It's a wealth of talent. More talent is better than one talent doing everything.
Yeah, as long as you don't have selfish players, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. So I'm big on the 49ers. The Eagles played great. I don't want to take anything away from them. 49ers lit up in the second half against the Lions, but I think that was them knowing they had that game in their back pocket.
And that's the only apprehension that I have is that they kept the Lions kept themselves in the game, and it seemed like that the 49ers got disinterested. They let up, and then when things got close, they were like, "Oh shit, we actually have to play football again."
Yeah.
And then, they made sure that they won that game. The 49ers, much better team than the Eagles top to bottom.
Agreed.
Doesn't mean that, any given Sunday that the Eagles couldn't go out there and
Yeah.
beat them on their home field, which it's tough to play in Philly for away teams. But I have the 49ers winning this game. The line is San Francisco -3.
I got San Francisco by 10, probably.
I don't know if I go that high, but I can see it.
I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to try to make a statement with the fact that they let down so much in the second half, that is going to be addressed by that Kyle Shanahan coaching staff, and that will not happen again. They run this thing from front to back, and they smack the Eagles.
I'm also calling another Trey Lance touchdown in this game.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that as well. I mean, they're gonna have packages for Trey Lance. They're not sold on Garoppolo. There's a reason that we saw Trey Lance in Week 1 when they said that Garoppolo was absolutely the starter. There's gonna be packages.
I mean, he only got limited plays. It was only like 5 plays or something like that. But
when
still,
he was in, he looked good.
and at the goal line,
Yeah. That's
in
a
the
perfect
red
time
zone.
for him.
Yeah,
It gives a read option look. You got RPOs. You got everything.
yeah, definitely. So 49ers are our pick there over the Eagles. Sorry, Bobbert Goblin. Moving on, Raiders and Steelers. I know you got some thoughts about this game.
I did. I prefaced this earlier. I gave a little foreshadowing. At the end of this week, the Cincinnati Bengals will be in first place in the AFC North because the Raiders are going to beat the Steelers. Now, I know Josh Jacobs is banged up.
I think he's been ruled out even.
He is out.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Kenyon Drake in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Raiders are actually a little bit undervalued for what they can do. Now, we talked about what Carr can do. At one point, he was an MVP candidate. Looked great, broke his leg, and then he's kind of regressed from there. But I don't have any faith in the Steelers' offense. Now, the Bills' defense is very good, or we think they're good. I think that Raiders' defense played very well against a Baltimore Ravens team that can be very dynamic. You're not going to have to deal with those kinds of things against the Steelers. Big Ben ain't doing shit outside of the pocket.
That's true, but to
Go ahead and
push back on you on that, we kind of trashed the abilities of the Ravens offense last week, and that's why we picked the Raiders, because they're a little bit more one-dimensional. The passing isn't there as much.
I think the
passing
Raiders are
options aren't
also
there as much.
one-dimensional. I'm sorry. The Steelers are also one-dimensional.
You don't have faith in Najee right now.
It's not. I have faith in Najee. I don't have faith in the offensive line.
Okay. That makes sense.
I think Max Crosby goes out there and balls out and fucking wreaks havoc on this fucking Steelers offensive line.
No Yannick Ngakoue?
I mean, Yannick's a nice pickup, but the best defensive end on that team is fucking Max Crosby. He's a stud. So I have been a fan of Max, but I thought he was a mid-tier defensive end. The way he performed against the Ravens team got me real hype on Max Crosby. 2 X's. I think he's going to fucking do it again. They're a one-dimensional team with the pass, which means Max is going to be able to pin his ears back and go get fucking Ben.
Okay. I'm taking the Steelers in this one.
Okay.
So I felt like I kept on hearing a lot of stuff about people are sleeping on the Steelers. People are sleeping on the Steelers. I'm not sold on the Steelers, but they actually showed up and played the Bills very well last week. Just got done talking about the Bills. And I think that the Bills are probably a pretty good team, that Pittsburgh outplayed them, and the Bills did not play up to their potential, more than likely.
The only way the Steelers win this is if they get another huge special teams play.
I don't know.
I think the Raiders absolutely can go out there if they can lock in one thing.
Can the Steelers stop Darren Waller?
So they have their linebackers back. They have good pass rush. The Raiders line did not look great. Trust me, I'm not saying the Raiders are going to roll the Steelers. I think the Raiders can squeak out another one against an AFC North team just like they did last week against the Ravens.
So Peyton Manning on his broadcast said, based off the first play, he's going to predict the record of the Raiders. And first play, he's immediately like 6-11. He's 6-11. I don't think the Steelers are going to be one of the 5 other wins. What brought me down about Derek Carr, even though he put up over 400 yards and a couple touchdowns, he was missing wide open guys.
He was.
It bothers me. You don't see elite level talent quarterbacks usually doing that. So maybe he fixes that. But there was like at least two sure thing touchdown wide open, no guys within 15-yard plays that he missed, that you could hear the fans in the background. Like,
I can tell you who's not coming in to replace Carr, and that's Mariota. He's on IR.
That's the thing, is that so they're, for better or worse, Carr's their guy right now.
He is.
There's no extra stuff that you can get from Mariota.
And I think that helps Carr. He has been playing a little nervous, I think, about playing bad and him getting the hook because Mariota's there.
Maybe.
Gruden has not endorsed Carr really, hardly at all. I think that helps knowing that he is the guy. So I'm taking the Raiders. Slim margin, but I got the Raiders.
Yep. And I'm taking the Steelers, but I don't feel good about the pick because I don't feel good about the game overall. Again, I don't know which each of these teams. I don't know what these teams are yet. This week will be telling for me. And I'm going to keep with that narrative pretty much throughout the show. I'm not sure on these teams yet. Next, Saints Panthers. I'm not sure about the Saints yet.
Yeah,
but
so
if the Saints play like they did last week, they're going to roll the Panthers.
Yeah, so I know you were really excited about the Saints last week playing the Packers, and the Packers fucking laid an egg. I think the Saints do win this game. Jameis does not throw 5 touchdowns again.
Probably not, no.
My only worry is that Panthers defensive line may be better than I thought they were. They played very good. The Jets, they played the Jets. The Jets are terrible up front.
Mm-hmm.
Can the Panthers generate a pass rush to get Jameis off his spot and force Jameis to do old Jameis things? Maybe. I don't know if they have to, though. I think Alvin Kamara can be a big factor in this game. I have the Saints. But this is another close game for me. A division game. I like the Saints, but I could see the Panthers winning this game, and that's scary because if the Panthers can get on a roll, they could make a fucking wild card spot. And if you get a Panthers team with a great pass rush, if it continues to live up to what they did, and CMC rolling in the playoffs, this team could actually do something. Now, I don't trust Sam Darnold, but this Panthers team may be better than I thought they were. I still have the Saints just because I think they are a better team overall than the Panthers.
I got the Saints as well. Jameis ain't going to do 5 touchdowns again. That is outside his normal realm of possibility. I could see 3 touchdowns, though. I think that his passing game is going to open up a little bit more because, again, this is like first shot back in the chute as an NFL quarterback instead of just being a backup. The Panthers, I'm just not sold on them. Again, playing the Jets, I don't know. You say that you think the defensive line for the Panthers was better than you were expecting.
They were.
But
that Jets offensive line's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And I just looked at the depth chart, and it's like when I'm looking at the second line guys versus the first line guys, I'm thinking, yeah, there's like position battles still there for me, which if I'm feeling strong, unless I think like they just have an elite stacked roster where you have guys on the bench that should be starting other places. I think that the Panthers had a win and a closer win than they should have against the Jets. But I think the way that the Saints played last week showed a lot, and that they will end up winning this game. But again, I don't know what the Saints team is. I can't just go based off of the one awesome, like, historic win that they had last week. I want to see it again. And if I see it again against the Panthers, albeit they're probably not a fantastic team, and I'll still have some question marks, I'll feel a lot better about the Saints if I see them actually show up again. All right. Going on from there, Broncos-Jags.
Broncos-Jags. That's
All right.
where I figured we were going. It's Broncos, and it's by 100 because the Broncos' pass rush is legit. Their secondary is legit. And the Jaguars did not utilize their best weapon on offense effectively in Robinson in week 1.
Yeah, so I don't trust Urban Meyer.
I don't trust Urban Meyer. So Lawrence threw 3 picks in week 1, and he is going against one of the best secondaries in all of the NFL in the Broncos. Now, they did lose a guy in the secondary, which means who the hell was their rookie corner?
Asante Samuels. Nope, not Asante Samuels. Patrick Surtain.
Patrick Surtain is starting. I think Patrick Surtain is going to perform well. That Broncos secondary is fucking insane. You guys have heard me say it before. That is one of the best safety tandems in all of the NFL. That might be the best. Very good at corner. And they got 2 edge rushers in Von Miller and Bradley Chubb who are going to wreak havoc on that offensive line. I got the Broncos covering. I don't even know what the fuck the spread is, but I got them covering
Broncos
whatever it is.
-6.
Yeah, they're going to win by a touchdown for sure.
Yeah, so a good team that has an off week can go into a week of practice with a good coaching staff, and they can correct their issues and figure it out and come back and rebound in the next week. The Jaguars, I don't think, have a good coaching staff at this point, led by Urban Meyer. So I think it would probably be pretty awkward to be there around Jacksonville for this last week of practice because I don't know what the hell it would look like. How the hell, like, they keep on talking about him having, like, angry fits and stuff like that, and I can only imagine him
he's
having
become
that
unhinged,
over this
was
past
the
week.
quote.
Yeah. So the Broncos are already a more talented team.
Yep.
Teddy looked pretty good for him.
Yeah. I don't dislike Teddy. Teddy is very safe.
Yeah.
But
And that's fine. That can win you games.
That's going to win you games.
Especially when the rest of your team is a very, very solid roster. You know, we've talked about, like, if Aaron Rodgers had gone to the Broncos, they're going to be getting looked at as a Super Bowl contender. So if the quarterback position is the one linchpin and your quarterback is safe but plays well, like that, the team's going to perform well.
Yeah.
I got the Broncos all day in this. I don't know if I got them by 100 like you,
okay,
but a touchdown probably.
Yeah, they're covering the spread. You said it was 6.
Yeah.
I got them by at least that. I think they beat them pretty badly.
Yeah, it's probably going to be ugly.
Vic Fangio, Broncos head coach, is a defensive-minded head coach. He's been in the league a long time. He knows exactly how to go at a rookie quarterback to get him uneasy. Broncos, for sure.
Yeah. Moving on, Falcons, Buccaneers. Don't even really need to talk about it.
No,
Bucks,
it's the fucking
Bucks steamroll.
Buccaneers, and it's not even close. I don't even necessarily want to get too deep into that because
Bucks minus 12.5.
I think they could cover that.
You're playing an NFL team. Anything's possible. So I don't know. It's actually made me stick away from
because
the line.
the spread is so high.
Yeah.
But I think they can easily cover that by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they definitely should. Look, the Falcons are nowhere near the Cowboys' offense, and the Cowboys' offense was able to do very well, but they weren't able to overcome the Buccaneers. The Falcons' offense does not have the firepower it needs in order to match punch for punch with the Buccaneers.
No, well, Engage, their number 2 wide receiver, got nothing last week. Your number 2 wide receiver gets shut out. Your rookie tight end is going to struggle because rookie tight ends almost always struggle. They have no running game. It's all on Matty Ice to make miraculous plays.
The Falcons' leading rusher was Cordero Patterson
yeah,
last week. I love Cordero Patterson as a gadget guy.
Yeah.
He's listed as a running back, but he's the backup running back to Mike Davis. He's your returner, one of the better returners in the league. and he's a good gadget player. So you can put him in the backfield and get a couple catches. You can put him in the backfield and get a couple runs because he's got actually the same dimensions as Adrian Peterson. Fun story there.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, because they don't look alike.
Not at all. They're built very differently.
Yes. But again, I don't know that we even really need to go over this.
Buccaneers.
This is Buccaneers all day. Easy pick. Cowboys and Chargers.
Okay, so I've been back and forth on this game. The Cowboys looked way better than I thought they were going to look. But
On offense.
On offense. But they have some injuries or some suspensions on their right tackle, Lale Collins. He's out for performance enhancing.
Yep.
They just lost Lawrence, their defensive end.
Yep. They also have another offensive lineman out, I believe, another tackle.
I think the Chargers are a very good team, but I think Dak can keep this close with the Cowboys. I like the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers, but I don't think it's a wall. I don't think they will roll over these Cowboys. The Cowboys on offense can fucking score points.
Yeah, if Dak's able to stay upright, that passing game for the Cowboys is better than the passing game for the Chargers. Not by a ton, but it's better. This should be an offensive shootout. The over-under is 55. I took the over on this bet.
Guys, if you want to bet an over-under on any game, bet the over on Cowboys, Chargers. I guarantee that hits. I am not sure I've been more confident on any bet this week, with the exception of the one we'll get to later. It's fucking the over on the Cowboys Chargers.
Yeah. And I had the Cowboys actually winning this game because they are an underdog by a slight bit. Lions Chargers -3.
Yeah.
And the odds were just good for that game as far as I think what the Cowboys showed me against the Buccaneers, who have all the possibility of repeating and going back to the Super Bowl this year. Again, they went, punch for punch with them down to the end. The offense looked really good, minus Zeke Elliott. But I don't think this needs to be a running game for them. This is going to be a passing game for them, as it's probably going to be for most of the year if Zeke continues to play shitty.
Not sold on Zeke anymore.
So, yeah, it's going to be a firepower offensive game from both sides. And I think the Cowboys could squeak this out. But, again, this is anyone's game.
I think this is another pick 'em. I like the Chargers. I don't trust Zeke anymore. I had the option to draft Zeke in multiple fantasy drafts, and he was a good guy that was off my board. Not drafting Zeke, I don't think he's the same guy. Mm-hmm. I think the contract dispute created some tension, created some things going on with Zeke, and I don't trust it. I got Chargers, you got Cowboys, but I feel like this is a pick 'em game.
Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised either way which team wins.
I mean,
I just want to see more out of both those teams, and I think that if there is someone who's a disadvantaged team, it's going to be the Cowboys right now because of the injuries and suspension. Next, Titans Seahawks. This is my upset game. I have the Titans beating the Seahawks in Seattle. All right. I think the Titans are an extremely good team, and somehow they played like a poopy last week versus the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals played better than they are, though not by a ton.
Seahawks. You said Cardinals.
No, the Cardinals played the Titans last week.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
And beat the Titans at home. And I think that Vrabel is going to take that shot to the chin and get his team super fired up. He isn't going to want to just win. He wants to win with an exclamation point at the end of it. And that's how he's going to take his team into Seattle. Look, Seattle, we've talked about this. They are a great first half of the year team. Yep. Russell balls out first half of the year.
Let Russ cook, baby.
Yeah. I think the Titans are going to come out and try to really show what type of team they are. That they are way better than what they showed last week. I think Taylor Lewan and his comments about getting worked over by Chandler Jones, that he's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder this game. Mm-hmm. To me, this just spells upset. Seattle is -6.5 for this game. So
I don't know if they cover that.
That's why this is my upset pick. I think just with the offensive talent that the Titans have, and they have a good defense. They just didn't really show up, and we're playing a very, very talented offense against the Cardinals. I got the Titans in this one.
So I got Seahawks in this one. So we're gonna go opposite again. I think this comes down to the Titans passing defense versus that passing offense for the Seahawks. That passing offense is absolutely insane. DK Metcalf is unreal. He is a physical freak. He is probably the closest guy in the NFL to a comp of Calvin Johnson in terms of height, weight, speed,
physicality.
And the Titans secondary is not good. We saw it last week. We saw it all year last year. Baker threw for almost 400 yards, 4 touchdowns in the first half. I don't know that they got any better. So I got the Seahawks, and I think Russell picks them apart. But I think Tennessee will slow the game down, and they will run the ball much more effectively than they did last week. That is, if this Tennessee Titans team cannot run the ball effectively, this Tennessee Titans team is trash. I think the comments by, I just forgot his name, head coach of the Titans, Vrabel. If Vrabel's comments about Julio doing some stupid shit and getting him penalized, I think that lights a fire. So I think this game stays close. That's why I don't have the Seahawks covering. I think they play better, but I still think Tennessee going out to Seattle, that's a tough road trip. It's basically as far east as you can go to as far west as you can go. That wears on a team, and Russ lights up that secondary of the Titans that is just really not fucking any good.
Yeah.
So
it'll be a real test for that secondary of the Titans. But yeah, I've got them as my little upset of the week. All right. Sunday night game, Chiefs and Ravens.
Oh man. I don't know how much more I can excited I can get without fucking flipping the table. Ravens are going on too. Because the Chiefs are so goddamn good.
I agree. I think it'll be a closer game than some people might expect, but at the end of the day,
if Tyrann Mathieu is playing so Tyrann Mathieu did not play against the Browns.
Yeah.
That's a big loss.
Yeah.
The Ravens' number one passing weapon is a tight end. Tyrann Mathieu can absolutely neutralize Mark Andrews, and then it's all on, can Sammy Watkins beat his matchup? I don't know. Maybe. And then keep Lamar in the pocket.
Yeah. Mahomes hasn't lost in September. Mahomes hasn't lost to who? Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield.
He's never lost to Lamar. He's never lost to Baker, and he's never lost to fucking Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Those are 3 high caliber quarterbacks in the AFC. Now, you guys may disagree. I know a lot of people are hating on Baker, especially the way that game ended. I'm fucking not one of those people.
Yeah, I thought he played a pretty good game.
He threw for over 300 yards. That last pass where he threw the pick, he wasn't trying to fit it into a tight window. He was trying to throw it out of bounds, got caught up. But Lamar's not that kind of passer. If they can keep him in the pocket and Tyrann Mathieu plays in this game, they neutralize Mark Andrews, and then you got to have Sammy Watkins or whatever fucking running backs the Ravens decide to play this week. I don't see it at all.
So line is KC -4.
They cover.
Yeah.
And I don't think Kansas City is a terrible bet on the spread. They have not been good against the spread at all. Like, if you go back and look at their historical records, I want to say over their last 10, they've only covered the spread twice. I think this one they get it. I think that Ravens team is still trying to figure out what the fuck to do on offense. I do not trust the Ravens. I think the Ravens start out very slow. Lamar will find a way to make something happen, but I got the Chiefs covering.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs winning. Don't know about the cover, but you really can't bet against the Chiefs unless they're playing someone who's up to their caliber like last week with the Browns.
yeah.
I thought that there was a solid chance, and that game came down to the wire. You know, that was down to the end.
The Browns are a better team from top to bottom.
Yes.
The Browns are a
than the
better team
Ravens.
than the Kansas City Chiefs. They're a better team than the Ravens. I know we lost. The deciding factor in that game was always Pat Mahomes.
Oh, I thought it was Rodney Harrison.
Well, that was also a big factor. The Browns are a better team than the Chiefs, top to bottom. But Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. That matters in the NFL.
Yeah.
At certain levels, you don't have to have a quarterback to win. At the NFL, that is the only position that really fucking makes a difference.
It's the most important position on the team.
In college, you can win with a running back and defense. In youth football, we win with a running back and a good defense. In the NFL, you have to have a stud quarterback. And Pat Mahomes is at the top of the fucking pecking order. He is the most talented guy. It's got to be Chiefs.
Yep. Definitely the Chiefs. How are we looking on the old battery there?
Let me take a look real quick. Go ahead and premise the next one.
All right. Well, I'm going to wait and see.
Oh, yeah. We're fucking good to go.
Oh, we're fucking good to go. Well, in that case, we're going to go to the last two games that we didn't talk about on Sunday, and that's our team's games. So we have the Vikings and Cardinals.
Yeah.
We've
We've
Vikings.
had a ton of people asking us, not necessarily through the mailbag, but just guys that we know.
Yeah.
Where are we going? With
Everyone
Cardinals?
knows that I'm a Vikings fan. I make it very apparent, and we're in Arizona,
We
where
live
there
in
are
Arizona.
a lot of Cardinals fans. Makes sense. So Vikings come in to Arizona, and this is a very tough matchup. So the line right now is Arizona minus 3.5. I don't think the Vikings are going to win. I have hopes. I have outside hopes that we will. I mean, I'm always going to hope that we're going to win every game.
Yep.
But this isn't like a lost cause game for me yet, which is a good thing. Look, the Cardinals, it's undeniable what they did last week. Their offense was outstanding, but what was more surprising was how their defense played against the Titans.
They were so fucking good. So the pass rush was insane. Chandler Jones had 5 sacks. And those young, one rookie and one guy in his sophomore year as linebacker.
Yeah, Simmons and Zaven Collins,
Holy shit. I did not think that they could play to that level this quickly. Those guys are fucking good.
yeah, they played very well. Now, my hope for the Vikings is that that the Cardinals kind of not stole one last week, but they played way above their average, and that the Titans played way below their average. And so that's not necessarily the team that they are. That's my hope. And also on top of that, from some of the Cardinals fans that we've listened to, is that their worry is that the Cardinals go out, they get a big emotional win like this, and then they have the hangover.
Right.
They say that this is a normal thing. I don't know if it is a normal thing or not, but Cardinals fans seem to think that it is. So hopefully the Vikings can come in and take advantage of that if there is that hangover and eke out a win here. Now, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game for the Vikings to win this one. But again, we played the Bengals last week. The Bengals played pretty darn well, and we shot ourselves in the foot a lot.
Yeah. So you guys played better in your secondary than I expected against that very good passing offense for the Bengals. So that gives me a little bit of hope for you
I think
guys.
it was even less about the secondary. It was more about the pass rush. We were able to do things with our front seven that made it possible for the secondary to look better.
But one huge reason why I have the Cardinals is that pass rush is very diminished this week. Losing Anthony Barr, losing your boy, Everson Griffin.
Yeah, so Anthony Barr, he's sitting out his second week. He didn't play last week either. They're nursing him back slowly, which is a good thing to do because we actually have some solid backup linebackers. So I'm fine with Barr sitting out. Of course, I would prefer to have him playing because we haven't seen him in a year now. But Everson Griffin, so Everson Griffin did he didn't get a sack last week, but he did show some good quarterback pressures. I liked what he did against a relatively shitty Bengals O-line. However, he got into a car accident a couple days ago, dodging a deer. Not an uncommon thing in Minnesota, and he got a concussion. So he's in the concussion protocol because of it. So we lose that sort of depth. Do I think that creates a huge drop-off with our pass rush? Not a huge one. I still am interested to see what happens with those backups for Minnesota, because Everson was getting a lot of those extra pass rush snaps. But the one that will really hurt us and kind of put the nail in the coffin for me is Eric Kendricks. So Eric Kendricks is our middle linebacker. He is top to bottom. Every game that he plays, he is one of our best defensive players, leads the team in tackles every year. He has a hamstring or quad issue and has been listed as questionable. He didn't practice most of this week. He did some light work, I believe, on Friday. If he's not a go, like I said, we have okay backup linebackers, but Kendricks is a huge part of our defense, both in the pass and the run, and that will really, really hurt us.
Yeah, I got the Cardinals in this game because of the injuries, because of the guys that are missing.
I have the Cardinals as well.
Yeah, I know that people have been waiting to hear Evo say that he's got the Cardinals as well, but
I like to root for the underdog.
yeah, absolutely. So, guys, you guys have listened for a while. Hopefully, you've listened for a while. If you're new, you should pick up on the fact that we talk a lot of fantasy and we talk a lot of gambling, right? If you want to get in on the sports betting, you're here in Arizona or you're in a state where it's legal, this is a great time to get in. So I told you guys I was going to have my book through Caesars. That's not the only book I have, because I like to hedge my bets, because I'm a smart bettor for the most part. If you guys get on FanDuel right now, they have the Spread the Love campaign. The Spread the Love campaign, every 250 people that bet on a game, on this specific game, Cardinals versus Vikings, the point spread goes up by 1 point. Right now, the Cardinals are getting 120.5 points because so many people have bet that game. So the Cardinals can lose by 120 points and you will get paid.
What's the max bet that you can do on that?
Max bet $50. So odds are minus 110. $50 wins you 95. If you want to get in on the sports betting, if you go to FanDuel, bet the Spread the Love campaign. Cardinals plus 120.5. That is free fucking money, because nobody in the NFL is scoring 120 points.
Nope.
So if you guys like betting, if you want to get involved in betting, if you like the conversations we have, if you've seen the Facebook posts or the Twitter posts about, my winnings, or we talked about it earlier on how Evo did, get involved on FanDuel right now for the Spread the Love campaign. It's free fucking money. Go out there, get it, plus 120.5.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm downloading another app after this. All right, moving on to the Cleveland Browns game.
Yep. So, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because the Browns played the Chiefs amazing. We beat them for 3.5 quarters. We were the better team for 3.5 quarters. One mistake cost us a game on that punt. We outplayed them. We were the better team. And we're playing the fucking Texans. The Texans are not going to run the ball like they did the last game. I like Tyrod. Tyrod is a very safe, smart, at one time Pro Bowl quarterback for the Bills. They have a ton of backs. Cleveland did not give up hardly any fucking running yards against the Chiefs. They gave up long, deep passes. Tyrod is not known to take deep shots very often. We're going to have the Warden, Denzel Ward, on Brandon Cooks. Speed matches speed. Denzel might even be faster. This is a fucking cakewalk for the Browns. We get to 1-1. We are tied for second in the AFC North with the Steelers after they lose. Bengals are in the lead, and the Ravens are sitting at the bottom somehow at 0-2.
Yep. I got nothing for this game. This Browns. The Browns are minus 13.5 right now. I'm not even touching that just because those large spans scare me.
Yeah, large spreads are tough. It's
but
the NFL.
I
Any team can do
completely
anything.
expect the Browns to beat that spread.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Cleveland all day. No
And
problem.
this is the first home game that Cleveland has had under Coach Stefanski with fans. That crowd is going to be fucking electric. They're going to be so goddamn loud. There's going to be so many pre-snap penalties by the Texans. Browns by 100. Not 120, like the Spread the Love campaign. But
Yep. So, moving on to our Monday night game.
yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Lions and Packers. This game is
Yeah.
being played at Lambeau Field. If you asked me 2 weeks ago who's winning this game, it's no doubt the Packers. Packers at Lambeau. They're tough. They're a good team. I still think they win this game.
Yep. Yeah.
But I don't know who the Packers are right now. I would like to think what my heart tells me, and that's that they're done. I mean, I would love to say that the Packers are not who they used to be, that Aaron's not who he has been in the past, and that there's the Manchurian candidate situation going on there where he is trying to ruin his own team. Because there's that narrative out there right now that Aaron is
yes, there
intentionally
is.
tanking to take it to the Packers. I don't believe that, but if the Packers lose this week, we'll have some conversations.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the Packers are a far superior team to the Lions. The Lions did, however, come back late in that game against the 49ers. Means they have a little bit of juice.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about how we thought that the 49ers kind of slept on them there towards the end.
They did.
But maybe
they got into a too deep shell and just kind of sat back. And I don't think we'll see that from the Niners this week. I think they'll want to prove a point. The Packers are going to win this game, but I don't think it has anything to do with Aaron Rodgers. I think the Packers coming out and getting beat as bad as they did by the Saints, everybody on that team is motivated to prove that they are still a NFC championship caliber team. So I got the Packers. I think the Packers win this game if Jordan Love starts the fucking game. That's not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the starter. The only way this goes the other way is if Aaron is literally purposely tanking.
Yeah, I have the Packers winning this game. But I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do if the Lions win. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I mean, you'll probably be fucking super excited. I'm not betting this game.
I might be naked in the next pod, and you're just going to have to do a full black bar for this entire body because I will be out of sorts. Not just happy, but I will be so confused.
Yeah, the Packers are going to win.
Because as much as I thought that and bet that the Saints would win last week, I didn't expect them to win like that.
No, I mean, and don't get me wrong, as much as I want to see you over here fucking selling hot dogs, I don't foresee...
Vienna sausages.
I do not foresee the Lions staying in this game. There's going to be some garbage time points. That's what the Lions do. But the Packers by a ton, and because Aaron is... I don't think that he has it in him to just give up.
Yeah,
He has
I
too
don't
much
imagine
pride.
him doing
He is
that.
a Hall of Famer. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. By every statistical category you could possibly think of. By statistical categories.
I wouldn't even put him top 5.
By statistical categories, he is.
I wouldn't put him top 5. It's
Yeah.
a passing league. Look, they're adding more games to the season and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, he just won another MVP last year. He's a stud.
yeah, well, the people picking MVP were wrong.
They weren't. Take Aaron Rodgers off that team sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what happened last week.
I mean, yeah, but you said that Jordan Love would win this game.
He would. It's the Lions.
I don't know if he would. No, look,
Well,
honestly, if you take
is that an indictment on Jordan Love, or is that an indictment on the Packers team?
that's an indictment on the Packers team.
Okay.
I think that Aaron Rodgers is the whole team, and if he's not playing well, which he didn't play well last week, look, the game last week, the whole Packers team didn't play well, but Aaron Rodgers didn't play well at all, and he is able
Jordan
to lift.
Love actually got some playing time.
He is able to lift his team up and make the team around him look better. Without Aaron Rodgers, we've seen this in the past. When Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, they're hot garbage.
Oh yeah.
So Jordan Love in there is going to still be hot garbage.
I still think they win.
Deshaun Kaiser, when he was playing, starting
Deshaun
for them?
Kaiser, don't fucking get me started on Deshaun Kaiser.
I'm not sold that Jordan Love's any better than Deshaun Kaiser.
Well, you have to be pretty fucking bad to be worse than Deshaun Kaiser.
He
the
wasn't very good.
He was the Browns starting quarterback. The year we went fucking 0-16.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if Aaron does not play good, if there is some sort of a hangover from him doing Jeopardy or hanging out in Hawaii with his new fiance or whatever the situation was last week, it was bad. It was bad for
terrible.
them.
It was
And if
terrible.
that is a tale of what's happening going forward, then the only RELAX that Aaron's going to be talking about is him getting it in the ass from all sorts of teams this year.
If he loses this game, Packers fans turn on Aaron. 100%. They're already
teetering.
teetering right now. If he loses this game, they turn. Brett Favre, played with retirement, didn't retire, didn't retire. Then went to the Jets. Then he went to the Vikings. Packers fans still love Brett Favre. If they lose this game, they are going to turn on Aaron.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to be watching the game very closely, and then when it's like 21-3 in the first quarter, then I'm going to turn it off.
Yeah, I expect this game to be over
There's no reason
by
why
halftime.
There's no reason why it shouldn't be, unless Aaron is not good anymore or trying to tank his team.
Yeah.
And I mean, quarterbacks fall off a cliff sometimes, I suppose.
Well, not Tom Brady, but
Some of them do.
some of them.
Tom Brady's an outlier. He's a wild
he
outlier.
is the
He
exception
just said
to
he's
the
going to
rule.
play until 50.
Very true. And I think he could at this fucking point, which is insane.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that wraps up our games for the week. Is there any sports betting specifics that you want to get into that we haven't already discussed?
so I do want to give the fans of the show my parlay for the week. I have got I got a 5-leg parlay on the NFL. I know Evo's not going to agree with all these, but I have a 5-leg parlay. And this is all money line. I got Rams, Bills, Niners, Cardinals, Chargers, all on the money line as a 5-team parlay. I don't want to get into what I'm betting to what I'm going to get, because if you are a new bettor, don't bet a lot. If you're a seasoned bettor, bet whatever you want. I do not ever want to unit shame anybody on what they bet. You want to bet $1? Bet a fucking dollar. If you bet $1 and you win 15, that's fucking good money.
That's a real good bet.
That's good fucking money. It does not matter. That is my parlay. Those are my picks. I got a couple individual bets. I got a substantial amount of money on the Chiefs money line as well. But guys, if you're not betting and you are interested in getting into betting, hit up the show. If you have questions, I mean, I have Caesars and I have FanDuel. My wife, producer of the show, Amber, she is on MGM. She is on DraftKings. Evo is now betting. So if you guys want to get involved in the bets,
Downloading the FanDuel app as we
that
speak?
that is my parlay. Bet whatever you want. You don't have to commit a ton of money. If you're interested, I mean, if you're in a legal state, it's fun. Even if you lose a little bit of money. Like if you don't put in a lot, you put in a little. Hey, just have some fun with it.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the NFL, a fan of college, a fan of baseball, there is money to be made out there on any one of these sports books. Have fun. And we're going to keep coming to you guys with bets. We'll give you the lines. We'll give you our takes.
Now make sure you bet responsibly. That's always should be said. Bet responsibly. Don't bet beyond your means.
No.
If you're a Starbucks or a coffee person or something like that, and you spend like $15 a week on Starbucks, and you're willing to take a week off of Starbucks to put that $15 into gambling, and that's what your budget is, like go for it. Don't bet beyond your means. Don't hurt yourself financially by doing this.
No, absolutely not. That's not
This
what I'm
is
advocating.
this is a way to have fun and have a little bit more interest and be tied to certain games and in a way to enjoy yourself.
If you were a sports fan, and my wife is just newly into sports betting, she's like, man, now that I'm betting, I'm so much more invested in some of these games. It's a great way to get involved with some of these games, get a little more in depth.
Part of the pod is me starting to dive deeper into some of these sports that I'm not as big of a fan of, like college football. I'm more into the specific players because I like watching them and their draft statuses, risers, fallers, people who might be sneaky good picks, things like that. But it ends up happening more towards the end of the college season, but it's still player based. And I just keep an overall general knowledge of NCAA football. And now with the pod, I'm paying way more attention to NCAA football because, it matters. It matters for the pod. But also I'm getting into the sports betting stuff. And now I feel like this is my time to research and know where I want to put my money to get invested in some of these games. So it's a way to, if you don't know the sports as well, even before you start spending your money, you can be like, okay, I know now I want to bet on some NCAA football. Now I'm going to start watching some games with some teams, and that way I've got an inside scoop on what I should be betting. Gets you into sports.
Yep. So if you guys do want to get involved, please do interact with the show. Twitter, Facebook. I'm going to put my bets out on Facebook so you guys can see them. I put some out on Facebook this morning. I'll put out my parlays as well and any individual bets I have. The only other sports thing that I want to talk about, and it's going to be real quick, I'd like to give a special fuck you to Tony La Russa. So
I wonder why.
the last night, the White Sox decided that they were going to throw at Shohei Ohtani, the greatest baseball player in the league right now, because he can do so many fucking things. He does more things better than Babe Ruth did. And you guys have heard me say this. Well, they decided to throw at him last night. Tony La Russa tried to defend his position, say, oh, we weren't throwing at him. It was very fucking clear that he did. So, fuck you, Tony La Russa. And I don't remember the pitcher's name, but fuck you as well. Shohei, keep dominating your sport. Keep hitting bombs. Keep striking dudes out. But that was the last thing that I wanted to say. I wanted to make sure I got that fuck you in the
Hey,
Tony
I
La Russa.
understand it. I get it. Last tidbit for me. Shout out to our boy David Weideman. $20 is $20. We got his sticker rocking
That's
here
right,
on some
baby.
of our
20
mobile
bucks is
devices.
$20.
So you can see $20 is IZ $20. He streams on Twitch. He puts out videos on YouTube. He has a gaming channel. Plays a lot of Warzone, some other first-person shooters. One of our buddies at work.
We
He's
actually
trying
will
to.
have him on the show at one point.
Yes. So Dave is a wild character. I love the dude. He gets so into whatever he's talking about, whether it's food, whether it's games, whether it's just crazy wild stories, whether it's Pillow. Pillow is his chicken that he keeps in his house in the bathtub. Like, awesome dude, super fun, great watch. So if you like watching gaming streams and stuff like that, check out $20 is $20. And then, we're going to have him on the show probably to gobble down some hot dogs when it comes to
are 100%
the hot dog eating challenges and maybe some other things like that. We want to get him involved every now and then with the show for some little fun segments. And I'm really trying to push to get him to start up his own like podcast vlog channel type thing where he like reviews food and just goes over quirky things about himself because dude's awesome. Love Dave, love his stories, and I know that you guys would love him too. So
Absolutely.
Shout out to $20 is $20.
$20 is $20 is with an IZ. Check him out. Fucking great dude. I love Dave. Man, he's such a good time. Are you going out tonight?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going out either.
I'm tired, and if I go out, I'm just going to be drinking a lot. And I just started this diet and workout regimen, and I got a personal trainer now, and I just want to feel good, look good.
Trying to get thick in the right spots.
I'm trying to get so caked up. Then I've got, this outside goal to hit the 1,000-pound club before the end of the year. I don't think I'm going to do it, but I have to kind of have that North Star to shoot for, so that's what I'm going for. And too much alcohol is going to hurt that to an extent. So if I go out tonight, I will consume, and I will consume a plenty.
Lot. I'm going to stay in. I'm going to keep drinking here at the house. Probably turn on some more football. I might even play a little fucking video games myself. Get on that $20 is $20 train. Play a little MLB The Show. I might hit every player on the fucking Washington White Sox team. I'm sorry, not Washington, the Chicago White Sox team. But guys, thank you so much for all your support. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Lineman Lounge. We are in Hangar 6. Sleeves are optional. You guys fucking rock. You got anything? One last word for the people?
Suck my dick from the back. Later.
See you.